Sweet. Now let's go YouTube. And of course it's not gonna. Hey Grace, how's it going? I went a little, jumped in a little earlier than I had stated previously, but figured since I was done doing what I needed to do, I would start the live and go from there. And this is why I always post my stuff on the side. How's that? Hey, Lost Product, how's it going? Hey, Broussard. Nice. Appreciate the love, brother. Didn't think I would get so many people right away. I figured I'd be waiting about 5 minutes. Better put on my socks and my slippers. But yeah, figured I would jump on after Colin's live to ease his burden of time frame or hours. Am I glitching? How bad am I glitching? Or is it just on the... It's probably the YouTube side. So let me see here. It's most likely on my YouTube side. My internet's been wonky the last few days. So I'm trying to figure out... I'm going to unmute my YouTube side to see what I sound like here. Trying to figure out... I'm going to unmute my YouTube side to see what I sound like here. Okay. No, we're good. Hey, Bomber Steve. Yeah, pretty good, actually, man. How's things over in Australia? Yeah, no, Broussard, it's probably just my internet's being funny. What's up, Metal? I should be getting a couple of my brothers and sisters over here from Sty. He's just ended his live stream, so I'll be seeing some other friends. And, I need to adjust my chair, man. There we go. I'm like not prepared / prepared, but $108, man. Are you what sector of Australia are you in? Yeah, no problem, Broussard, man. If you got to head out to get some sleep, doesn't bother me, man. It's good to have you stopping by. Just get some rest. As y'all can see, my water bottle is a little bit lacking on the stickers, so I'm waiting on stickers. But I should be getting Johnny in here soon, and I think Colin said he was going to pop back in. Central Victoria. Okay. So I think that's Northern Australia. I'm going to Google that because I'm bad with geographical locations. But I think that's Northern Australia. The Northern Territories, right? Let's see. Hello, Marie. How is it going? Good to see you. Oh, Southern. So they're on the southern side. Yep, here I am, Sean. Ooh, you know what? Not too happy with this. Bam. Should have had that one on there for a long while ago. Oh, you were right on the corner of... you guys are basically down on the bottom end of Australia. That is a huge province. Like, huge province. Yeah, no problem, Sean. Let's see, where's Johnny? Yeah, Johnny was up here earlier when we were on Collins Live, but Collins running low on StreamYard hours, so I told him I would throw a post live up here just to ease his burden since I got plenty of hours. I don't use mine very often. With so many subs that I have, or so many that I'm sub to, that makes it impossible. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. Copy. Throw this for my boy Colin to see if he wants to be up here. Anyone who wants to join me can. Although I think while I'm out here, I might as well do a little bit of an unboxing. I have one myself that I've had for like 2.5, almost 3 weeks, and I haven't touched it yet. I'll wait for Johnny. How many people I got in here? 6. Works for me. At least it's not 1. 1 would just mean I'm in here. There's my boy Colin. There he is. Hello.
I'm here.
Long time no see.
Woo! Yes.
I know, right? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So I take it you guys watch some of the other. There's another YouTuber I watch that does that stuff. He'll be out in the middle of nowhere and he'll unbox like 8 boxes, but he's like, "What's in the box?"
That's the outdoor gear review, by the way.
Yeah. So you watch him too, Colin?
Him and Susie, amazing. Luke and Susie.
I love Luke. Luke is funny. He's got a lot of energy.
By the way, you know how tall he is?
He's short. He's short.
5'4". He's 5'4".
Yeah, he's short. Have you seen his?
Just to let you guys know, I'm eating my.
Have you seen Lucas? Lucas is like 6 foot something.
Mini Three Musketeers.
All right, let's see. Let's open this with a fancy knife. So who all we got in the house now? We got.
Well, let me see. We got Sean. We got Lost. We got you, me, Bomber Steve, Grace, Broussard Homestead,
Marie.
and Marie.
Yeah, it's funny. They're the ones that are supposed to follow and abide by the laws, and yet the majority of the time they're the ones breaking the most of them. See, where's Johnny? Thought he was going to come up. Well, I did kind of go live a little earlier than expected. It didn't take me long to finish what I was doing. I said 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right. See you in 10 minutes.
In a Hawaiian time, 30 minutes is an hour.
In a Hawaiian time, 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Unless you got some weird Mayan, Chinese, half-breed calculator calendar timer.
This is Johnny we were talking about, the guy who, drank beer while driving a bicycle.
Yeah, what's really funny is you do that here in the States, like on mainland states, and you get a ticket for a DUI.
You can get a DUI on a horse.
But that's not driving.
Still counts.
How do you drive a horse? You can steer it, give it basic general directions, either left or right or forward. But there's no gas pedal. No gas pedal at all.
Ooh. Doesn't matter. Not to the people who want money.
That's true. If they want that ticket, they'll find some dumb excuse to get one.
They say it's a vehicle. It counts.
It's a mode of transport, but it ain't a vehicle. Yeah, Colin, text Johnny, tell him to get his butt on here. I don't have his phone number.
Just call him. I can just call him.
Well, you could do
that. I got his phone number. Not easy, just picking up a phone and calling Hawaii.
Oh, no, you can't call Hawaii What's up, Dennis? How's it going? I'm looking for something. Marker. Do I not have a marker?
Hi-yo.
Hey, guess who's live already?
Right, get up here, farthead.
Yep, Cliff is asking for you. Here, talk to him. He can hear you.
Okay. Hey, what's up?
Johnny.
How you doing?
Where you at, bro?
Yeah. All right, I'm coming. Here we go.
Get up here.
That's an interesting conference call.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a speakerphone, but
Okay. Okay, we'll see you when you get up here, Johnny. See you in a
how
bit.
you gonna do what? Well, I guess a DUI on a lawnmower makes sense. It's actually technically a vehicle if you have a riding lawnmower. Some of those have steering wheels, or the old school ones do. How you doing tonight, Dennis? There's Johnny.
There's Johnny. Look how small these things are.
I know, those are like the little baby ones.
I know.
I think I'm going to change my coloring. I don't like that color. It's green, but it's not green.
I wouldn't know.
There's Johnny. Bam.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hold the way up. Change it.
There we go.
I gotta turn my phone. There we go. How you guys doing?
Falling over. All right, now that I think most of it, let's see who else is in here now. All right, sweet. We got 9, so I might as well get this underway. So
He's got
aside from
unboxing to do.
aside from the title of the channel or the stream tonight, I actually have I was gonna do the. So here's the thing. I busted this thing out on Collins Live like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and I've had it sitting in the box this entire time. I haven't bothered to open it.
You've been busy, man. What is that?
So I have this. This is what we were talking about. This is a flying fox, and those of you who know what it is, don't say anything yet. So we're gonna get underway to unboxing this sucker.
Let's see what you got. If you're talking about, I want to see a live flying fox come out of that.
Dude, I wish. But yeah, here we go. And it's it's completely sealed. Like there's the bottom, there's the top. And now we're gonna go in.
What's in the box?
Easy
A
7.
box.
Of course, I missed the seam on this. There we go. This knife's got a good point, but this tape sucks donkey. All right, so we got the box. Well, bam.
Bubble
Oh
wrap.
my god.
Just wait.
It's actual legit bubble wrap. It's not that bubble packaging. That's
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
yeah, that's some old school
That's good
stuff right there. Ah, sweet.
That's a gift unto itself.
A sticker for my water bottle.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Here, what's that say on the bottom? Hashtag believe.
Whiskey River Trading Company.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so if you guys know who that is, oh damn, check this out. Yeah, I love this. Look at that sticker.
Flying
Flying
fox.
Fox. Can't see the bottom.
I know it doesn't want to focus. My camera's being a turd.
Something
cool.
company. Food company. Council Tool Company.
Yeah, Council Tool.
So y'all know if y'all know those guys, y'all know what this is. Got another sticker. I'm not
don't.
putting this one under because that one's gonna fade off, but that's a nice little sticker right there.
Cool.
Cool.
That actually looked good on the truck.
And then now we're gonna of course now it's gonna be all blurry.
I should have figured
Oh,
that last
that
sticker,
is
man.
freaking cool.
That is awesome. Hickory handle.
Yeah. This is
What's that
this is
set
technically designed as a throwing axe. So it can be used as a camp carver or a throwing axe, but yeah, I picked this guy up on the cheap. Let's go to unwrap.
Iron Mouse Dried Axe Club. It's an axe
There you
throwing club in Des Moines.
Look at that.
That's
I'm
pretty
gonna
cool.
put it.
That is
Nice
awesome.
hole on that one. I love the hammer hammer on that, the butt end. That's nice.
I was gonna say it's got a
Oh
different.
man. I wasn't expecting two sets of so like There's a protective case, and then I got the main rubber one. Ooh, that sucker is
That looks sharp, man.
sharp.
Don't shave with it. Do not do it, Tyler.
You know,
You see any hair on this arm?
you got a burn there, dude.
Oh yeah, that's what happens when you stick your hand in a fireplace and actually didn't bump against the wall.
The way the head looks, it's almost like a hybrid. It's like a hatchet and a tomahawk mixed.
Yeah.
It's like right between.
That'd be a good chopping hatchet.
That
Well,
thing is
it can do both. It's technically sold. They consider it a throwing axe because it's got a really lightweight head. But I've seen a lot of guys use this as a camp chore axe, splitting axe. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So I think a pound and a quarter was the head weight on this.
How much did it set you back?
40.
that's pretty good. That's
I got them when
reasonable.
they were running a sale on these, but normally it's like 50 or 60 bucks. Actually, no, I think they're normally like 50 to 80.
I got an All American, the regular hatchet out here with the hickory handle, and it's everything's expensive out here. I got it in my camping bag, and I paid $50 for that.
Okay, I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to get the oil up the handle, get a nice wax coating on it. Yeah, I think that's where I saw the sale for it, Dennis, was the Instagram notice from Whiskey River. And then I went to their main site and I bought one. Because I've been wanting one of these for a while, but they're usually slightly out of my price range. Well, I shouldn't say out of my price range. I just don't want to pay that much for a little tiny axe. But I've seen a lot of the stuff that company does, and I figured I wanted to support something small and somewhat local. Plus, it's a USA branded company. So I wanted to support them a little bit. And you can actually see it. I don't know if you can see that on the pole right there.
Oh, it's got a stamp.
Yeah, it actually says USA on there.
That's
USA 20. And then it has their hammer forged mark right there. I love this thing. Little damage, little bit of a blemish on that side, but to be honest, I'm not even too concerned about that. I just like the axe. Now I have something to chop wood with at my house.
Yeah, pretty
That's not a junky piece of axe. Because I don't have an East Wing. Those things are expensive.
So I got a couple. I've got the All American hatchet. I got actual full size All American lumber axe, but my beater that I've been using forever for all the landscape and everything I do around here is actually, believe it or not, a Fiskars. It's like the regular Fiskars that you could find at like Lowe's or Home Depot, and
Yeah.
it's got the synthetic
I
handle.
don't really have a good small hatchet yet. I need to get one, but I do have
those ones are
a.
actually pretty good.
I've got a Collins axe actually.
Collins, yeah,
You
no,
have your own. Yeah, Collins is a good axe too.
Yeah.
Those are really pricey.
Hey, look, it's my name. At least I can say that it's mine.
Yeah.
It's my axe.
the ones out here that I see that are made by Collins, they have a synthetic handle and it's like blue, and it's like a super heavy duty thing. They have like 3 different kinds. They got the one with the sledgehammer on the back end, and then they got one that's a regular axe, and then they got one that's kind of like, it's almost like hatchet like, but not.
Yeah, gotcha. Just want to say a quick hello to Copper Kettle Farms. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, hey Kettle.
Lori from Firefly Farm just showed up.
Hi, Lori. I missed you and
Lori's
snuck
here?
in on me.
Cool.
Volcano
nice.
Squad.
And we got Hawaii Volcano Squad. All right, we've got almost everybody from the last one
That's
showing
awesome.
in here.
Can we call them Hawaii 5-0?
Yeah, he's cool.
Just call him HVS.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
HVS.
I think the Hawaii Volcano. He's either I think he's in Oahu.
Yeah, give me a second here, HVS, and I'll throw that the link up for you. If I swear to God, though, if I hear a trial version, you're gone instantly. I'm gonna stick you in the basement.
I was gonna say it, man, and I didn't want to go and do it. Like,
Dude, he was trying so much like 2 weeks ago to try to get this thing when I went live the last time. He was like, is it working? I'm like, no, dude, all I'm getting is trial version.
yeah, man, what rugged.
Well, if you need space or something like that, you can knock me out if necessary. I mean, because I've
dude,
been
I
on the
can
road all day. I'm tired is all. I drove all the way across the highway back today.
Why?
It's part of my job, dude. I had to deliver wine.
The,
Well, I thought you worked in. I knew you worked in a liquor warehouse, but I didn't know you had to transport.
he had
Well,
to
one of the drivers got injured. I have to ride with him to do all the lifting.
you never met.
He can't pick up more than 25 pounds, which means I have to do all the lifting. I'm tired.
Why
Let's see if it's working. Nope. Let me get the.
Is it working or is it test?
Nope. We actually got you on audio now.
We can actually hear you. Aloha, bro.
I want to say that Quebec Homestead chick is a silly bitch. That's all I want to say.
Mallory.
Mallory.
Why is that?
She was like, well, you don't need to use your camera on your phone. All you have to do is turn on StreamYard and it works. It's like, bullshit. 4 years ago, Microsoft released an update that just if any component isn't certified by Microsoft, it no longer works. Microsoft Windows doesn't recognize it. So the Dell camera, the camera that Dell put in my laptop wasn't Microsoft certified, and it just stopped working. Also, my LED TV stopped working that I used to monitor off of. It's like she's so stupid. It's like, I mean, do you think if I would have tried to use iVidCam if my regular laptop camera worked? You know?
Well, there's a word for that in the industry. We call it capitalism. That's when
No. It's not Colin. It's Colin.
Yeah.
Bill Gates is more of a tyrannical bastard is what he is. I mean, he's already bought like all the farmland in America, and I don't know if you watch Ice Age Farmer, but it's like he's bought all the farmland in America, and he's the biggest investor in Impossible Meats. So go ahead.
I'd rather him have it than Monsanto.
Well, I don't know, because what's going to happen is that when they have a lockdown, there's the pandemic. They're going to have a lockdown. Biden's going to sign another executive order, and you're not going to be able to go to the supermarket anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
You're going to have to call in your grocery order, and then the
I get
employees.
so many jokes about my name, so please stop it. It's bad enough.
That was Sean Forney. At least that one makes sense.
No. I mean, when I actually the Irish spelling sounds like Colin, like Kawlin. It's the way it's pronounced. But people don't realize colon and Colin are two different, spellings.
Oh, and don't forget cologne too.
Yeah.
Cologne got two L's. I've got one.
You also don't have a G, an N, or you don't have a G or an E in your name either.
Yeah, what I'd do is I'd go and spell it like cologne, but I'd say that's French for Colin.
No, my name is Irish. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so everyone in the chat here,
oh, that's just wrong.
New here.
Lori, look at what Lori wrote.
What you got?
Oh, no, I was going to say, for anyone who's in the chat who doesn't know, this is HVS. He was, a few weeks ago, he was the proprietary sole owner of the word trial version.
Yeah, poor guy, man.
This is our trial version up here.
Well,
ha.
No product, no.
Well, I think I deleted everything to get it off.
Put in the chat.
You're doing good now tonight, HVS. You're running clear and smooth.
I was gonna say, you got it handled, man. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Well,
we were talking about this last time I was on live, and he was having issues with it, and he was just like, "If I just delete it, will it fix it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I should probably just delete it and reinstall, and it should maybe work."
I'm not reinstalling that shit. Fuck
it. Yeah. Yeah, canceled, man. Just dude, you go into uninstall programs and just drop it off your hard drive.
Well, it was there was more to it than just that, but it
Really?
still left something that I had to dig out and get rid of. But I was just trying
It's okay, Sean. I'm used to it.
to experiment with technology, and it didn't work.
Yeah. No, it happens, man. Dude,
It's trial and error.
yeah,
That's all you can do.
it takes forever.
Right.
Like I've had the same trials and tribulations with like movies and stuff. I try and go and put a movie on the hard drive or anything, and then when Windows 10 was changing, I was at work and I come home and my computer crashed. It like had automatically updated itself without my permission.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about Windows. Since we're talking about Bill Gates, I think I talked about it on my fireside chat last night. It was like, they designed that program so nothing works without Windows. Nothing.
Yeah.
And literally, they stamp out any competition. And if Bill Gates gets his fingers, that company has its fingers into everything. Like nothing works unless it's certified by Microsoft. But really, it doesn't work. Nothing works that great with Windows either.
Don't make me get my headlamp. Oh, see, I don't have the red on mine.
Oh, I can do a bunch with mine.
So yeah, Volcano. So get this, man. So I had Windows forever, man. Windows 10 forever worked fabulous. And then it goes to decide to automatically update while I'm at work, and I come home and it's crashed. And luckily, I keep all my data on a 4 terabyte external, and I try and fix it, try and get it back. So I'm doing a YouTube thing, like I'm searching, how to fix it, and I come on this video, and it's called Windows 10 Rage that went viral. That video, man, I started watching it. And at that point, from watching that video, I realized that it didn't have a prayer, and I took it and lit it on fire.
Hey, Cliff, what you need?
Hey, drop.
You need to get those glasses with the ones right outside on the edge of the glasses with
those
flashlights
things.
and stuff.
Look
I don't even have these on. Look, this is like ultra low mode,
the way you got that set up, Cliff. You look like Venkman right now.
dude.
Ghostbusters, bro. That is full Ghostbusters. Oh yeah.
I don't have red light mode on these ones. On none of these have red light mode. I could have bought one with red light mode, but it was another $60. I didn't feel like spending $60 on another flashlight. I already own like 60 of them.
Really? Yeah,
I like my Nebo Redline. It's 9,000 lumens, and it's fucking awesome.
The Nebos make
this is like what? This is like $10. And it works perfect.
Yes. I was gonna say this one was gifted, but yeah, no, Volcano, dude, I really dig the Nebos. I've had 2 Nebos, man, and I've had one with a parabolic lens, and it worked great. It's a bright light, man.
Dross Family Garden just came in.
Yep, I saw him.
And I'm just
I said hi.
where I live, I need it.
And Northern Girl Hobbies just came in.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, we got Northern Girl. Sweet. What's going on, Northern Girl? Glad to see everybody here tonight.
Are you you're in Hilo or are you on Kona?
I'm on the volcano. I'm like 2 miles from the caldera.
Oh, okay. So
right next to the park.
You're near Mauna Kea Park, yeah?
I'm near Hawaii Volcanoes National Park.
Nice.
Like
cool.
2 miles up the road is the entrance.
Rad, man. That's awesome.
So I run an Airbnb up here, and it's been putting all my bushcraft work has been getting, delayed and postponed because I got so many bookings when we opened it in December 1st, when they allowed people to land by plane again.
Yeah.
And it was like crazy. And so I just spent the whole last month cleaning sheets, cleaning towels, putting the damn duvet cover off and on, and sanitizing, spraying down the place and sanitizing it after each guest. And it's a shit ton of work.
Oh yeah, of course.
And you're always under the gun because you got the next guest coming, and you just got to go fast. And all my bush.
So how much does your Airbnb cost?
What's out?
I'm just curious.
My place,
a lot.
$130. I charge $135 a night. It's a lot cheaper than like staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking about, my wife and I were thinking about coming to visit Johnny next year.
well, you're not on the Big Island, are you, Johnny?
Nah, man, I'm a Maui, yo.
You're on Maui, yeah. Well, I don't know. Go on an Airbnb. You'll probably find something nice.
Yeah, Maui no Kauai, bro.
Should I turn all three of them on?
Go for it.
No, you need 4.
He's decorated like a
I
Christmas
think
tree.
you get the glass ones with the little ones on the edge of the glasses.
He's decorated like a
I
Christmas.
suppose I could use 4, but I'd have to unbox one of my other ones.
Now it's just an idea. You don't have to use 4.
I've got my other. Actually, hold on. I think I have
Hey,
my
Johnny.
I've got like 6 of these. All right.
John,
Who wants to go blind?
Okay, Cole, what you got?
She said, they said they need to go visit you if he's in Maui.
Me? Yeah, I'm in Maui.
Terrible. This is too
We're
bright.
gonna come- Everybody should come visit Johnny. And, you know, yeah.
All right, enough of that insanity. I couldn't see squat, dude.
I'm
You could do a bushcraft school there just to see what it is.
I'm down here in Maui. I'm on the south side. I grew up here. This is I moved here when I was 12 years old, and I've been here ever since. I moved here from Florida, and I was born in the Everglades back in the 80s. And yeah,
The south side, like south of like Hana, right? It's like way south. I mean,
yeah, no, Hana's the east side, bro.
right? I know, but the road. When I was there, I took the road was blocked. It was cut because of a landslide or something, and
That was a while ago, man. No, they fixed the road. They fixed all the bridges. I got a video out of us camping out there, man. It's real nice now. They fixed the road, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, but there's like what's the town on the south side and the beaches on the south side?
It's a Kihei. That's where I'm at.
Kihei. Okay.
Yep. And down low, even more south than me is the rich neighborhood, and that's Wailea. So I'm they call my town kind of like, we get a lot of rousting. They call us the armpit of the island, and call us ghetto and call us all kinds of stuff. But hey, man, I grew up here. I live here. I don't plan on leaving. So
Except for when you come visit us, Johnny.
A lot of people are leaving.
Cliff's getting a good laugh out of it.
Well, you're not even paying attention to what I'm doing, are you?
No, I'm wondering.
What are you doing?
That's what I was
Well,
wondering.
messing with things. I'm just having fun over here on the StreamYard because I can.
That's awesome.
Oh, he changed your name, Johnny.
Yeah, I can't see the chat.
It says that Maui guy.
Oh,
No, okay.
no, I don't. There's no beer in my warehouse. It's just
I see it
wine.
now.
Oh,
Beer?
okay. I'll change that.
Did someone say beer? Yeah,
I'm gonna
buddy.
get Johnny a magnetic beer can cover to cover his beer can. So he can do more videos that way.
A good one for you, Colin.
Hide your beer.
So I did this thing. I got a job as a saute chef at Maui Brewing Company, right? And like
Right.
I had an awesome interview, like, and got hired. And then I worked there, and it was exactly the opposite of what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like Homer Simpson, you know what I mean? And I'd go work, and I'd get free beer, and like, it'd almost be like that movie Strange Brew from Canada.
You got free beer at the nuclear plant,
Yeah.
power plant.
Yeah, right. I get some duff, for free. But you know what happened, man? They are so corporate and so gnarly, man, that I was just like, okay, it's not for me. And I quit in 3 months. I was just like, dude, they wouldn't let me keep my knife bag or even my water bottle on the hotline. I had to go and leave my station while I'm getting slammed to go and get a water bottle and to get some water. It was just like,
That's dumb.
it was terrible. It was terrible, man. So
Well, it's like running an Airbnb. Well, when you run your own business, it's kind of like running your own business, but you work for Airbnb. And I got to tell you that one of the only problem I have with Airbnb is when you sign up, there's they ask you a few questions, and one of them, are there any firearms on the property? And I just left it blank.
yeah, Yeah.
It's like, what am I gonna say? I got 4 long guns and a dozen pistols and like 50,000 rounds of ammo. What are they? You guys got a problem with that? So I just left it blank. You know.
What you do is you take that Volcano and you go and you get a massing container and pack that up and lock it up, man. You know how people roll out here. So, and then Copper Kettle, you know what's interesting, Copper Kettle, is I don't know what zone I'm in. I never got into zones. Cliff, do you know anything about zones?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll Google it real quick.
Oh God, he's gonna Google. Yeah, there's a website that will tell you what zone you're in, but on the Big Island, it's microclimates.
That's what I was about to say. So Volcano is in an area where there's more microclimates than anywhere in the world. You can go up 50 hours driving up the mountain, and you're in a completely different zone, and there's completely different plants. It's like, man, he's got so many microclimates over there on the Big Island.
It's like I live in a cloud rainforest, Ohia cloud rainforest.
Yeah,
and it rains here so much. But once in a while we get some sun. But if I drive 20 minutes southwest of here, it's a desert.
Yeah,
literally,
man.
It's a desert.
It's Hunger Games.
Yeah, Johnny. According to this, you have 8 different zones for your little island.
Yeah. So here, Volcano. So you know where I'm at in Kihei. We're in the desert, man. So this is more desert. And like, if you watch my videos, man, I go to like all these different places and different zones, but and they're at different elevations. But you're on the Big Island. The Big Island's got so much different zones, man. It's insane.
It's got everything except subarctic.
yeah, exactly. And well, you guys just got snow on the Big Island. It was snowing there.
Not at my place. Maybe at Mauna Loa.
Yeah, that's where it was. It was snowing. It was snowing yesterday, and I've been getting 3 days of heavy rain over here. Man, it's been storming, man, and I've been loving it. I like woke up in the morning, and I was getting ready to go into work, and I texted my chef. I texted some friends. I was like, I'm loving this weather. It looks like I feel right now. You know, and they're all laughing. And then,
what's weird is it's like I can't use the phone to figure out what the weather's going to be because it just changes on a dime here. It really up here. I'm at 3,500 feet on the top of a volcano, and it just changes on a dime.
Yeah. You got that wind. That's coming around the mountain, and you got the trades.
Yeah, the trade winds definitely.
Yeah, the trades change everything in an instant, man. Like I had a boat before, and I sank it because the trades came in and they got me while I was out. Man, I got
a boat video coming that everybody's gonna love because it's I don't know if you're familiar with the Baywatch Scarab boat. The guy the guy who built it is over here, and I met the captain, and he owns the Baywatch 2. It's just like the Baywatch 1, and he said, "Yeah, come on, let's go fishing," you know, and it's so. I'm gonna take my video camera as soon as I get a chance. I was supposed to go with him on the 15th, except that's when my last guest arrives, so I have to be here when they check in.
Oh, cool.
Because when they check in, as soon as they check in, Airbnb sends you all the money right away. So.
Oh wow.
Dude.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome, dude. You don't even have to wait. There's no grace period. I'd say a king. You know,
right? That's a big cash cow.
I've got to get going. I'm fighting my eyes right now.
I got to tell you,
Colin, have a good one. Thanks for having me up, and thank you for coming up on mine.
Colin.
Oh, anytime, brother.
Colin.
Bye, Johnny.
I'll be texting you, man.
I expect you. I'll see you.
He'll be sleeping.
Take care, man.
Wine delivery guy,
Johnny. So your zone is actually for Kihei is 12B.
So I work for a wine distribution company. So I will see everybody later. Love you all. Talk to you later.
Take care, Colin. Have a good one.
Have a great night, Colin.
All right. So since you said you're in Kihei, Johnny, your zone is 12B.
So tell me about it. What does that mean?
No idea.
You go out they sell beer by the 12-pack instead of
right. Oh man,
right.
I don't mess around with the 12, man. I got 30, dude.
Yeah, I feel you.
Actually, I have no idea what that's supposed to be. It just says, let's see.
Volcanoes almost got as much rain as Kauai. Kauai is our rainy island. And that's
Yeah,
like,
it's like I have a catchment 10,000 gallon water tank, and even with like my guests here, it rains so much it's never not been topped off,
Yeah,
because no, I mean they could be taking showers all day, and I could be using the washing machine all day, and washing dishes. I mean, I'll never run out of water
I
ever.
was gonna say 10,000 gallons. Isn't that almost the equivalent of like an Olympic-sized swimming pool?
No, it's not an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
I mean, 10,000 gallons of water is a lot of water.
that
Yeah,
is
it
a
is.
lot, bro. Like,
Yeah, and it's triple. Basically, I got 3 filters at the pumpings. They're basically there's a 20 micron sediment filter, and then a 5 micron carbon block, and then a ultraviolet light filter
nice.
before it
Dude,
goes into the pipes.
you running all that crap through solar?
No, I'm on the grid. I'm on electric. I haven't done backup electricity yet, and I probably should, but I just bought a house, dude. $355,000, and the money outflow hasn't stopped because there was a ton of stuff that needed to get done, and so it's just there's when you buy a place like this, there's like a never-ending list of stuff that needs to get done.
Oh yeah, I have that here, man. I have that here with what I'm doing, and I'm not running an Airbnb, dude. You know what I mean? And I got like the thing with me, if I were gonna build an Ohana back here and rent it, you know what I mean? I would I don't want to be a landlord, and I don't want like people doing weird stuff and then getting the cops called here or anything like that, man. I enjoy
I
my
haven't had any problems because I don't rent to anybody that doesn't go through Airbnb. Somebody contacted me through Airbnb, and they're like, can I just stop over and give you some money because I can't get Airbnb to work. I'm like, no, because the governor suspended all evictions, so all they have to do is give me a few $100, and then they don't ever have to move out unless I stick a shotgun in their face,
No, yeah. Well, there's a lot of different changes going on out here, man. Like what I'm going through right now in the restaurant is I go to work. We can only seat 30% of our maximum capacity. We can only have 5 guests at a table at a time, 6 feet apart.
Yeah, but so people come here. I know. I feel your pain, but I come here. People come here. They're like from Canada. They're from the mainland. They're from they're just here for a good time. They're not locals looking to rip me off or nothing, or scope out case my place to see what preps I have and try and rob me at some later point in time. Which wouldn't end well for them.
Yeah. Well, Sean from North Shore Preparedness, he had a friend that she had a good thing that I think would apply to both of us to all of us here. Is she has a sign on her door and it said, "If you're intending on robbing this place, please make peace with God before you come in."
I just have a sign on my porch that says, "If you can read this, you're in range."
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a wood sign, and I got it when I was in Prescott, Arizona.
Oh, Prescott, I've been through there. It's a nice place. My friend was in the military there. He's in the Air
That
Force.
sounds about right for signage in Arizona.
I mean, have you been down Whiskey Row and all the pubs there?
No, I haven't, man. I just
you were in Prescott and you didn't visit with Whiskey Row. The fuck is you?
It was a pass, man. I went to visit my boy in the Air Force, and like he only had 8 hours to hit me, and I was on my way through to Oregon, so I had to go and get on. John Harp.
We visited Prescott. You don't need a permit to carry there, so I was just borrowed my dad's Glock 30, and I could just carry it everywhere except when I went out drinking at night. And so I walked around Arizona with it's like a 45 caliber Glock, a Glock 30, and it's an old one. My dad's had it forever, but it felt like real freedom,
Yeah, well, when I went down there, I think I was 23, and my friend was in the Air Force, and he actually was carrying a Tech 9 on him when I went down there. And we went and we drove off, and then the extent of what I did, we drove down there and went shooting for a while. I got to shoot about 5 or 6 different things, and then I went and headed on my way.
I didn't get to shoot anything. I was, I wasn't there that long, so nobody had me.
Yeah. Oh, the only reason lost product. The only reason I switched my hat is because the lamp won't fit on right. So, and it got dark. This is okay. There you go. I did it for you.
Yeah, when you got the hat sideways, the lamp, they just sit on there really weird.
Yeah, dude, it's completely pissed.
Yeah, they feel they don't sit right.
Yeah.
I can only wear the hat either facing forward or facing straight back.
Rap thing, the way you wear your hat.
What?
That's some kind of gangster rap thing, the way you're wearing your hat sideways.
No,
It's an 80s thing.
yeah, it's an old school thing. It's more
You weren't around in the 80s.
Yeah, we was.
me. I was born in the 80s, dude.
Well, I know, but you don't roll with the gang when you're like 2.
Nah.
No, I wasn't too. Like me and Cliff are the same age, but but yeah, no, I didn't roll.
Drop. If it doesn't fit right, get a bigger head.
Yeah. Dude, you can help me out, Drops, man. Give me more subs, dude, and then my head will get bigger or something. No, I'll never sell out.
I got a fat head. Look at this. It's like a round. Looks like a watermelon.
Yeah, I always need like extra large hats.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm rolling a large with my Filson, and then this one I've had this hat is like 13 years old, and
Which way you get the Velcro ones? Things
Yeah.
last forever.
that's what this one has, Cliff. Check it out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So it's a good hat, man. I really like this hat.
So the place you live in town or in the country or
It's in kind of like both.
is that even possible?
Well, dude, that's how Hawaii is, man. I mean, you could be in an aerial and it's like it's rural. You know what I mean? It's not like a city. It's not like full on town, and it's not country either. You know what I mean?
Well, when I was living in Kona for like 15 years. I mean, it's a small town, but it's a town. It's not like up here in Volcano.
Yeah. No, so it's like that. It's exactly like Kona.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly like Kona. And in Kona, like, yeah, I've been to Kona. I had my honeymoon there with my wife. It's a nice place. And I tried to drive Kilo, but I got over it, man.
Doesn't work on that side.
Over driving, man. It's a long way, you know?
Yeah, when I was moving up here, it was like
What's
hell.
up, Evan?
Moving up from Kona up to Volcano was hell because I was like load up the Blazer, spend all day loading up the Blazer, going down the stairs, taking boxes out, and then driving up. By the time I'd finish moving out of the condo or for the day, it'd be like night. I'd have to drive up through the dark on windy mountain roads and through driving rain with some idiot like tailgating me like 5 feet away, where if I tap on the brakes he'd slam right into me.
Yeah. So that's the whole reason they call it the Big Island, man. You forget a gallon of milk at the store, you ain't going back.
Too far to drive.
Yep. It's just man, everything is spread out.
Well,
Like-
it's big. They call it the Big Island because it's fucking big.
Yeah. Well, but also too, they spread everything out, man. I mean, Theftway and Costco aren't anywhere near each other. Like at least when I went, and man, it's just like you forget something, man. Like we got comp nights because my wife works for Four Seasons, man. We stayed at the Hawalalai, and man, talk about awesome. But like we went back and I think we forgot something. We forgot something at the store, and it took us like 3 hours to get to the store. And I was just like, no, the hell with it. Not doing it. Not going back. Not going.
Yeah, you got to keep your your head about you when you go shopping and try not to forget anything.
Yep.
And when people come, I tell them on their welcome message, I said, here's the code to get into here's the door keypad entry code, and please stop at buy groceries on your way up, because otherwise you'll get up here and you'll just have like a little tin of macadamia nuts and some Dove chocolates that I leave out. You know,
you don't give them like a bag of pretzels either, like some pub mix or something.
No, there's some coffee. There's some coffee, a few Dove chocolate candies, and a little jar of macadamia nuts of one flavor or another.
Give them a mint on the pillow, bro, and that's it.
Man,
the last got people who were here for 5 days. You know, the only thing they asked for was a sharp knife, because I don't have actually had any sharp knives in the guest rental, and so I brought him over one. And I says, "Everything working over there inside there? Okay?" And he said, "Like everything here is perfect," and I can't do better than perfect. You know, so
yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's like I try and have everything perfect when they walk in, because you only have one chance to make a first impression. And so if they, you know, basically after, you know, I just give them one or two, I say, "Hey, welcome to Mystical Magical Volcano. And, you know, if you need anything, just send me a text to the Airbnb system and I'll bring it over." "Oh yeah, I drink whiskey. I'm not drinking right now. I also drink Okuliao."
So the kind, you know, it's interesting, and I know you probably witnessed it too, is our lockdowns and different stuff that we've had out here is I notice is everyone who's been coming here, they've been locked down for their places, and they're able to fly here because they're only under 10-day quarantine. And then once they're done with that 10-day quarantine, they're free range. And part of that has caused an influx and infection and contamination out here. You know, so they're locked down, straight locked down in their places where they're coming from.
Well, I'm not locking down anybody. It's the government. And basically when they land on the Big Island, they get tested. They have to get tested once before they get on the plane. And then they get tested again on the Big Island when they land. They don't test on Oahu when you land, but on the Big Island, they test you. So before they show up at my place, they've been tested twice. And when they leave, I spray the place down with Zap antimicrobial spray. I got spray bottles, and I hit every surface. Completely. You know, it's a lot of work cleaning and sanitizing.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to be straight OCD about it, but but the thing is they only have a 10-day quarantine in that time, but they aren't really abiding as much about the quarantine. They like my wife works at Four Seasons, and they have cards that they give them. And they're only allowed to use that card a certain amount of times, and then they have to check in with the front desk to get it renewed so they get in and out of their rooms, and they ask them where they've gone, what they've been to. But it's only for a 10-day period, so it's like if they're locked down from where they're coming from, they only have 10 days of lockdown here, and then they get to go out as long as they want and do whatever they want.
Yeah, well, the government is out of control everywhere right now with the whole lockdown thing. And what I was talking about when I first came on about Bill Gates and the lockdowns and how he owns a huge stake in Impossible Meats, they're going to lock down the supermarkets. They're going to say, for public safety, we don't want people cruising down the, supermarket aisles. So you're going to have to go on the internet, place your order for your groceries, and then drive by and do a pickup. And you're going to get something like your order. And if you order meat, you ain't getting it. You're getting Impossible Meats, because that's just the way it rolls. And
Rip Curl thinks they got ukus. No, and you know what? My daughter got ukus once. We got rid of them real quick. And it was a major pain in the butt. Whole lot of laundry, man. And a whole lot of fumigation. What's that?
Head lice.
Ukus, man. Head lice, yo.
I never had that.
That's what they named the ukulele after.
Oh, this is what he meant, the CV ukus.
Oh, CV ukus. Yeah. Okay, you're talking other cooties. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like you said, man, I hope that we don't get shut down again, Volcano. But
sneaking in here.
What's up,
going on, Bomber Steve? Welcome to the club and the chat. And the interesting talk about Hawaii.
Well, yeah. My folks live in California, and then they just got scheduled for their first vaccine shot. And, I bought this place in August 1st, and I've been dying. My dad's 84, and I've been dying for him to come over and see me before he dies. Please come see me at the new place,
Yeah.
And he hasn't been able to. He's afraid to get on a plane right now. But now that they got their vaccination shots, there's one shot, and then you got to wait 2 weeks for your second shot. I hope to be able to see him like by May, I hope. Because like the most valuable commodity we have is our time together in this world, and it's very limited. So I can't wait till he comes out here, and it'll just be awesome.
He's only got a 2-week delay before a second shot, because most places in the States are usually either 3 weeks to 3 months, depending on the vaccine and who's dropping it.
Yeah, I haven't taken it, and I don't intend on taking it.
Well, my folks,
Unless I'm forced to, I don't want it.
Yeah, no thanks, man.
well, my folks are, because they're just afraid to travel without it. If you're 85,
Yeah, true.
and you
Yeah.
get it,
Makes sense.
it's like you could be game over very quickly.
No, it seems perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, for them completely, because you got limited regenerative abilities and age factor and any other strong medical conditions. If you get it, that could be the end of you right there.
I told my my work 3 months before last March, before we got shut down, that I was going to the Philippines. I was supposed to go to the Philippines for 2 weeks. I was supposed to spend a week in Vietnam, and I had some other friends in Bangkok. I was supposed to spend 4 days in Bangkok and then come back. And then I couldn't afford the trip, like the entire round. So I canceled my trip, and then all this happened, and then we got shut down in March, and they were like, "Hey, Johnny, I bet you're glad you didn't go." It's like,
Well, hey man, I was trying to sell my condo so I could buy this place,
dude,
and right in the middle, after it had been listed for like a month, the COVID hit, and we just had to pull it off the market because we couldn't do open houses, nobody could come by and look at it, and it was just, we had to pull it off the market. And I was like, I wanted to get out of that condo and up here to Volcano and build my Volcano Prepper compound and get it all set up and get all my preps laid in, and man, everything. I gave up on selling the condo, and then I got a letter in the mail from somebody who'd been watching it, who did the vacation rental at the condo. I wasn't doing it, but at a different unit, and they really liked the complex, so they made us an offer, and it wasn't it was like $50,000 less than I listed it for, but it got me out of there and up to here, and
I would have just rented it out, man.
Rent it? How could you say that? Well, you rent it out, they don't have to pay you rent, and you can't evict them.
Yeah. Well, now, like before, I would.
They issued that thing right away, and it's like forever. And now we got.
Even now on the break you're talking about, if you owned that still, you're gonna get a break. You're not gonna have to pay the same amount you would, like as far as property tax goes. So and then
they're gonna raise taxes because they're damn broke. And now that we got the what's gonna happen is now that we got the what did I call them? LSD. Everybody here needs to stop doing LSD.
Oh man, I love LSD.
You love LSD. You love the lousy, stinking Democrats, is what it is.
Oh, that LSD.
Because they're going to print so much money. They're going to give everybody universal basic income. They're going to bail out every bankrupt state and city, and they're basically, what they're talking about doing is quadrupling the money supply overnight. And they did that in the Weimar Republic after World War I. And the result was Hitler in World War II. And if you just Google wheelbarrows full of money, a loaf of bread in Germany used to cost 1 mark. When they got done printing money, just currency, not money, currency, they just started printing paper money. And it was 100 million marks for 1 loaf of bread.
I'm going to make a lot of money on loaves of bread, bro.
So
you make $2 billion.
I'm gonna
Well, for all the good it will be. I mean, imagine a world if one loaf of bread cost $100 million.
I make my own bread, dude.
Good luck finding flour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my next big project is I have the flour and some yeast, and I'm gonna make my first loaf of bread ever. I've never baked bread.
Oh, really? Dude, come on. Dude, and also too, you don't need flour to grow bread or to bake bread or to make. We got Hawaiian sweet potato out here, so you can make Hawaiian sweet potato bread, and
The purple kind.
the purple, yeah, you could use that. You could also use taro. You can make taro bread that we have in abundance out here, and then also you could use cassava and make cassava bread. So because you can go and make cassava flour, it's long and hard, arduous process, but you can do it.
Well, I've never done it before, so I'm just gonna try and cook it in a pan and see what happens. I'll make a video of it.
Yeah, dude. So where you
Don't know who this guy is, but just want to say hi, Ghost Dog.
Yeah, hi, Ghost
Thanks
Dog.
for joining us.
I really
And I
like.
saw up here, where did it go? Let's see. Evan had something. That's devastating.
Yeah, that's gnarly, Evan.
Well, if it's
My
true,
only thoughts on that is they were probably allergic to something that was in the vaccine.
That
when I got the flu shot, I got it last year, and I've never taken a flu shot before. And I asked them, "Is there, what else? Are there any preservatives in it?" They said no. We've got some flu vaccine with no preservatives in it, and we just got a batch in. So I was like, okay, there's a couple different preservatives that they use that I didn't want injected, but if they got a flu vaccine,
I've never had a flu shot before.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 39.
I'm 56. So
Yeah, the last time I got a flu shot, I think I was 16.
Really? Yeah, I've never had one, and my kids have had them. You know what I mean? And they seemed okay after. Like they went through like this weird thing of like sweats and like cold type stuff as far as symptoms go, but they were all right after. And
I had no problems.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been around people with the flu that I've been sneezed on, coughed on, and I haven't never gotten it after like 6. I don't think I've ever actually had the flu.
Really?
Not once.
Well, when I got it, I was still living in the condo, so it's more of like a community where you can catch things. But up here, I'm on a mountain, and I don't even go near my vacation renters, But we got bars open here, I go down to the pub in Ka'au and Alibis, and
they just shut the bars down again over here, man, because there was a high amount of infection, and actually my bartender at work caught it, and he was out for 3 weeks, and he just got back, and they still haven't opened the bars yet, and we're hoping that maybe we could open it soon, but like we got this area, it's called the Triangle, and it's like where everyone groups up, and that's where the major infections are, and like I think that's going to be the cause of us keeping it shut down.
Dude, I don't even have bars open over here. All the bars here have been closed since like October. Completely just closed.
It's nice to be able to go out and at least talk to a girl at a bar or something every once in a while, So that's what I do.
Yeah, I'm married. I haven't done it in a while, and then plus the bars are too expensive for me, man. I'm a broke.
You're married and you haven't done what in a while?
Go to the bar, man. I haven't gone to the
Okay, I thought you.
HVS.
I'm broke, dude. I got this. I got my brewski, dude. You know what I mean? So
He's got the poor man's beer over there.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm on a diet too, Cliff. I gotta watch my girlish figure. Okay.
Okay, Johnny.
Dude, speaking of which, I'm gonna go and take a break on the bush here. I'll be right back.
Oh, he's got to go water the plants.
So Foxhead Outdoors, I've seen that you're doing some gardening on your channel.
All I've been doing on my channel, there's a lot of places still locked down in my state, and it is hard to go anywhere without dumb people because we're supposed to be wearing masks out in public in any confined spaces, and people don't do it. And that's why this stuff is continuing, because people don't, they want to be like, well, why do we still have to wear the masks? because you people don't want to wear them in the first place, so you keep spreading the stuff around.
I don't know if that's the whole mask thing. It's like I don't know how much good they do. I mean, if I was wearing my like gas mask, okay, that would stop it. But if it's just my face, just some simple face covering that I wear, it's like I'm not going to do any mask virtue signaling. I'm wearing a mask, and you should wear a mask too. But I mean, if a business has a sign on the door that it's their business, it's their property, and you have to wear a mask to enter, then okay, I'll put on a mask. You know.
I always wear my-
It's a lot of places it's mandated. You can't even enter the stores if you don't have a mask on.
yeah, I always like, for me, I actually see it as an accessory. You know what I mean? Like, I got to get one that says bling bling on it. You know what I mean? But I always carry a mask on me. I got one in my pocket all the time. Yeah, this is pretty comfortable. I have
Sure,
to.
I had one in my pocket.
Yeah, I have like a tie dye SA fishing company neck gaiter, which I use. You know.
That's cool, man. Like work. The work made me take a test, which I got my nose raped, and then I came back negative, man. I came back negative, and then I'm demanded. I have to wear a mask at work, and like, I have to talk to guests and different stuff like that, and other people, and it's kind of like a bummer that I can't like smile at my guests. You know what I mean? And
well, at the local pub, I go down to the pub, and it's like you have to wear a mask to enter, but as soon as you sit down and order a drink, you just take it off and forget about it.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
but the stools are all 6 feet apart, so it doesn't make any difference,
Exactly. That's how it is here too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right next door, man. You know what I mean? Like, so, that whole 30% thing our governor passed is kind of weak, but like, it is what it is. I'm just hoping things will get better, because right now this is a slow part of our season too until February. So we'll pick back up because festive is over. We'll see how
I
it goes.
drop sneaked in here.
So it goes. We got drops, dude.
Drop snuck in here. I don't even know how he got in my basement. I haven't posted the link in a while.
You back? And how you doing, man?
You probably had that thing in here from the beginning. What's going on, Drop?
Mr. Drop, welcome.
How you doing, man? I can't hear you, bro, Shaq.
Well,
Yeah, that's his little storehouse right there. He's chilling with his
Cool, man.
supplies.
Hey, he was in your basement, Cliff, and he's in his basement.
Right? He's in the sub basement.
Yeah, and he's got a guitar back there too.
The guitar and food preps.
Food
Rocket.
preps, beer, alcohol.
Now you're talking.
And then I've got another new person in here, Mrs. Lost.
I
Hello
mean,
and welcome.
oh, okay. Yeah, so that must be Lost Product's wife.
Maybe.
Very cool.
Lost and found.
So Drops,
Inventory.
Drops, tell me a story, man. I can't hear you. I think your mic's off, dude.
Yeah, we got no audio from you, Drop.
Yeah, there we go. I actually mute it before I get on because I don't want people to have old men stuff. But whatever.
Well,
Yeah, everything's cool.
Did you feel?
Everything's cool.
How you been doing?
Good. Last couple weeks, my dad died.
Ooh,
Just yesterday.
sorry.
So I just kind of been. I'm used to death. My wife died 4 years ago, so I've been consulting my sisters because they are really upset about my dad dying. That's okay, and it's part of life. And he was 90 years old, for Christ's sakes.
Oh,
that's a
he
long.
lived a good long life.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, both my parents were married for over 65 years, so you get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's
Great parents.
That's a long time to be together. 65 years.
sorry to hear about the loss, man. But like, yeah, same. My grandfather died 2 years ago, and he was 93. So
Yeah,
But-
well, I was married to my wife for almost 20 years before she passed away from cancer, and that was a great time in my life. First wife, only wife, and it's great. Johnny, can you imagine living without your wife? I don't think you could, right?
Hell no. No, man. My wife's my best friend, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what mine was. So
Not your dog?
No, my dog's cool, man. But you know, my dog,
no, dogs don't even come close to being. Your wife is your best partner and friend.
yeah,
you know?
my dog does not pleasure me, Volcano.
Well,
It could if you put peanut butter.
I'm happy for you. To hear that.
Yeah. Well, I talked to this one guy in Alabama one time, and he said, "Well, my ex-wife is starving me to death for $24 a month and all that crap and everything else like that." It's like, and he said, "Well, when she says something to you, did you say okay, yes, dear, whatever like that? Because yes, dear is a good thing to keep married. You know what I'm saying? Yes, dear. Even if it's a stupid idea, you say yes, dear, because you're not going to have a problem with your marriage. The minute you start arguing, oh my God, you're gone. You're done, right, Johnny? You know that one.
Yeah, I know. Well, the best thing for me is always I guess the best thing. It wouldn't be yes, dear. It's like, sure thing, babe. Anything you want, dude. You want, dude.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
You're all pussy whipped, is what you're saying.
No, I'm just telling you the actual thing where you actually make a marriage work is where you just don't argue with the wife because she's going to win either way. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to tell you the truth.
No, them's the facts of life, man. Them's the facts of life, and it's happy wife and happy life, and it's and honestly, when you're a best friend with your lady, you don't need to argue anyway. There's nothing to argue about. It's like, I get to the point, like, even in an argument, I've gotten in arguments with my wife. Don't get me wrong, because that's just what happens. You know what I mean?
I used to live in a condo, and it was 96 units, and I can tell you that married life is not always bliss.
No, it's not. There's times where you hate each other. You just want to get the hell away from each other.
Yeah.
Trust me. Okay.
Look, I know a lot of girls, and none of them I didn't have to share my last name with any of them.
Yeah. There's different circumstances to it. You know what I mean? Like, you can find like someone, and then you have
this is right now,
and a companion. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone who's your companion, you know what I mean? And someone who's your soulmate and someone that you've decided to spend your entire life with. It's different, man, for different people.
Your damn soulmate has your damn back and they'll back you up no matter what, Johnny. You know that.
Exactly.
I had one of those for 20 years.
But are as crazy as.
It's not, because in the end you raise good kids, you raise a good family, you have a happy life, and it's I miss that because I've lost mine 4 years ago. It's not easy.
Yeah, it drops. I'm sorry.
That went down weird. I'm dying over here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude, to hear that. Because I can't begin to imagine.
Yeah, you can't imagine because it hasn't happened to you. But if it did, you would. You know what I'm saying? But you realized that you did have that perfect partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, man. And I pray it doesn't. And if it did, hopefully it'd be me.
Yeah, I see that in you. I see that in Mallory and Ben over there in Quebec. They have the perfect partnership. They have the love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's and I will say this: it's no picnic, and it's a shooting star. It doesn't happen by chance. I believe it's fate.
You got that right, brother. You find the right person, the right gal, or whatever. Depending on your sex, you find the right person. The right gal or the right guy or whatever you are. You find the right person. And you find the right person that has your back, that's a partner in life. And that's truly, one of the things that I don't, I've talked to guys that have been divorced like 3 times, or two or three times, or they never been married. They just don't know that love. You know what I'm saying? They don't know.
I think you're just like, I don't know, you've been married for too long, or it's because it's like, I'll tell you about Brendan Fraser, and he got married when he was a big movie star, and he used to get paid $20 million in every film that he was in, and he got married, and then when he got divorced, he has to pay his alimony based on his income of like $20 million, like 2 or 3 times a year, and he wasn't making nothing. So you know what? How fast he went broke? Marriage was like a death sentence for him.
Well, the thing is,
it would have been a lot quicker and less painful.
I think you're just missing the point here because
you don't base a
The point is that wife gets half. That's
money.
the law.
Like there's no money in a relationship. Like there's no monetary, there's no material, there's nothing when you have a real good relationship. And Brendan Fraser, you know what? I got advice for Brendan Fraser. There's a thing. It's called a prenup, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
well, you know, when in a marriage, if you're in a good marriage, you're always asset rich and cash poor. Okay, especially when you're raising kids. You know that, Johnny.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
a labor of love, man.
So you didn't have a prenup. Okay.
No. Of course not, man. You know why? Because I chose my wife and she chose me and I trust her. So there's a level of trust. Like Brandon Fraser, man, if you got that kind of money, if I were rich, which I'm obviously not, yeah, sure, I'd get a prenup.
Obviously.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at me, dude. I'm a poor ass kid, dude. Come on now. You know? It's like
It doesn't really matter if I won the lottery tomorrow and married the girl that I love. There wouldn't be a prenup. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it'd be for real.
Well, easy come, easy go.
So,
Yeah,
and-
well, you know, I've had 3 of those redheads before before I got married. You know, I had 3 redheads. I love redheads, but they always seem to screw you on Friday right after payday when they clean bank accounts out, take the furniture out. I've had that happen to me 3 times. So, you know, in my lifetime.
That's awesome.
So I figured out redheads are not the best deal for me, even though I love them. You know, but
Oh yeah, I almost married her, but instead of marrying her, I just moved to Hawaii instead.
you know what? If I'm
Really,
gonna get
computer?
married and get together with somebody, I'm just going to go ahead. I make a promise. Okay, I'm a promise guy.
Yeah, well,
That's life, right
I'm
there.
a word too. You know what I mean? And I told my wife that when we were getting together, and you know, and I'll tell you a funny story. Okay? Drops, you'll like this, is because I asked my wife to marry me, and she said no, and then and I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm really happy with what's going on, and like I know we're bros and friends, and you know, I hope that you like it and feel the same way as me. And she's like, I do. She says, I'm not ready to get married, and I don't want to get married to you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing. No sweat, no big deal. And
I
then,
like being able to leave the toilet seat up.
well, 2 weeks later, she came and asked me to marry her. And then, you know what I did? I turned around and I said, no, man, to hell with that. What are you talking about? Hell no, I ain't gonna marry you. And then she's like, got all sad. I'm like, just kidding. Yeah, no, it's on. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
I got it. Because Johnny, you know, I talked to my wife about 2 or 3 months before online, and then I flew down to Atlanta to meet her. Okay, and then we hang out for a week, and I stayed in a hotel, was being a gentleman and stuff like that. She insisted upon that because she's a good girl. And then 6 weeks later, she said, get your ass down there, we're getting married. And I didn't have to even propose. She did it for me, you know,
Yeah.
and we were married for almost 20 years. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm up. So my next step will be my 14-year anniversary, and you know I'm happy, and I feel the same way as I did before. Nothing has changed, and I've got my best friend. You know.
Yeah. And you know, after 20 years, it was still my best friend, and I felt even stronger about it, you know.
Yeah, you know. So to each their own. You know what I mean? I've got friends, they aren't married and they're happy as clams. And sometimes I talk to them and I'm like, man, you're lucky that you don't have to deal with all this other stuff and the kids and everything else. But then at the end of the day, man, for me, this is just my own personal opinion and take on it, is I'm never lonely anymore. And I got these little guys and I got my lady and I've always got someone there that's
There's
got my
some fun games that only lonely people can play.
Yeah, I still have my child, you know, I have my daughter, you know, and I'm from a marriage. And, you know, I really respect that. You know, my parents were married 65 years. There's a reason for that, you know, because they found each other and there was love there. And I do believe that, if you haven't found it yet, I'm sorry. If you've made the wrong mistakes, you don't just get married because you want to.
Yeah.
You find the right person.
You say love is just a secondhand emotion.
No, I
No,
don't think so. No.
That
Wow.
was
That's a terrible song, by the way. It's so
Got to do with it. That's a great song.
that was
I don't
Tina.
mean,
She's dead, dude. She OD'd on heroin.
yeah, I don't mean to.
Hollywood.
I don't mean to say anything against anybody, but if until you find true love, you never really found real love. You know what I'm saying? And it's important.
Yeah,
know.
it's a really, really strong life force, and like I said, to each their own. It's purely subjectional, and I wouldn't recommend anything that I do to anyone ever. You know what I mean? First off, and I would never want.
By the way you wear your hat,
Or spearfish in the ocean with sharks.
Yeah, right. Like at night, you know what I mean? Like, but like, each person is an individual and deserve like to have that sort of opportunity in their life, I believe. And to me, like, okay, like when I tap out at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I love kissing my wife on the cheek, and I love being with her, and I love being able to have intelligent conversations with her. And I'm very sentimental, man. I'm a real emotional guy, and I'm happy. So at the end of the day, I can actually say I'm happy. I'm not disappointed in anything I've done. I have no regrets. I'm a happy guy. So, that's the main thing. Whatever makes you happy, right?
Well, you're living in a place which is conducive to happiness.
Well, if you're happy with your wife and your partner, that's the whole thing. It makes a big difference, and it makes your life happy. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm sorry if you haven't experienced that yourselves and you ran through women or whatever. But if you found the right woman in your life, that's all that counts.
Well, I found lots of women.
I did too. I went through hundreds of them. In fact, we had contests where I want to get her phone number tonight, and I want to go ahead and do this and that. And my wife was like, "Well, you did all that shit?" I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, honey."
It's part. Oh no, that's just part of growing up. Part of growing up. I went through the ring. A bunch of my friends used to call me the monster magnet because I'd always have the craziest chicks come up to me and want to roll, and I would do it because I'm an idiot, and I'd go and be dumb and ruin myself doing that, and then finally, I didn't even find her; she found me, and I'm lucky. Like I consider myself fortunate. I consider myself fortunate because all those crazy girls and all those crazy nights would have killed me if I kept doing it.
Yeah, I get you, Johnny. I mean, I understand completely.
And on top of that, so someone was just asking me advice, and I can't give advice to anyone. Like I said, to each their own. You need to get the life experience, put in the time, and just go with it. Just go with it and see what works for you. Just try it, man, and don't be afraid to take a chance. You know what I mean? Like, it's a game, man. You take that risk. If you take that risk, you can come out clean or you can come out dead. And then who knows? And who cares? Who cares when you just want to go? If you're always down and you're willing to take that risk, man, with your heart, I think that you'll be fine. If you're
I think honestly, if you just keep it honest and if you really have a real attraction to that girl,
Yeah.
I mean, if you really feel it, that's where it comes from. Because the minute I talked to my wife, 2 or 3 months over the internet, then I actually flew down to Atlanta to meet her from Seattle. And we spent a week, and I spent the whole time in a hotel being a gentleman because she insisted. And we just connected. And 6 weeks later, we were talking on the phone. Come on down. We're getting married. She told me, we're done.
Yeah. See, like, things just sort of happen like that sometimes. And like someone who just asked, they said that they've been in the dumps and depressed. Hey, man, you know what? Do what you need to do that is going to make you happy, and
I'm just happy to be able to walk around in the sunshine and breathe in and breathe out.
Stupid internet.
Place,
Yeah.
just like
You know what? I'm always happy. I'm not moody or nothing like that. I'm a middle of the road guy. I always have a happy mood no matter
you
what.
guys sound too
You know?
gooey. It's just this is a whole too gooey, lovey chat kind of. It's like, please.
No,
God.
I'm serious. I'm a middle of the road guy. The world could be burning up. It could have asteroids exploding across the planet. I'm still happy because that's the way I am. Johnny's the same way, I think. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be the guy out there trying to get hit by an asteroid just to be like, yeah, I got hit by an asteroid.
That would be sick.
Rather than get by an asteroid than get married anything.
Remember, you heard it last from Charlie. You know,
What you do,
2012.
so what you do is you take pieces of the asteroid that are embedded in your skin. You use that to make the ring.
Right.
You're gonna be hit by an asteroid. You're gonna be blasted to pieces anyway. There ain't gonna be nothing left of you to get anything from.
It's like pieces of meteor. I'm trying to. I can't remember the name of what it's called. Is it
Armageddon?
No. There's this. But they use for knife handles. They use pieces of actual asteroid strikes for knife handles.
Yeah.
A lot of meteorite stuff is actually used for magnets because they're permanent magnets and they have unique properties.
Well, rare earth stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I just want to come and say hello and talk to Johnny and Cliff. Nice having me up here, and you didn't say much.
Drops. It's always awesome to see you on all the live chats and to get your comments too. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having him.
I just been kind of busy the last couple of weeks because my old man was, going away. And
Understand.
I caught that in one of your comments, man. I'm sorry about that.
well, it's was 90 years old, so hey, it's expected. And I'm just this place I got right now. I'm just getting ready to get it ready for sale, and I'm going to move south somewhere warmer. I'm tired of the cold and.
Move to Arizona. You can't get any hotter than that.
I don't know if I want to move there. Been there many times. I don't like Florida that much either. I don't know. Maybe
Other option is either Utah or New Mexico. You got Utah, Arizona, Nevada, or New Mexico, or Southern California.
Or Costa Rica, where it's nice and warm.
That's a little
shoulder no more. You never tackle three people, including the two blockers for the runner, with your left shoulder. Trust me, it hurts in the end.
For you, Drops, man. I thinking about the Philippines, man. Top dollar, get you a long way, and you can do whatever you want.
I've been there before, Johnny. I've been there before.
Yeah. And the Lost Product just said a thing here in the comments about being super depressed, man. And
this one?
Yeah, with his military and all that, man. You got to find someone in your field of work, man, to hook up with that's going to have the same feelings as you, man, to make that work, because that's different.
Oh, actually, Johnny, I've been working at home for 20 years as an internet entrepreneur and actually code to IT servers and WordPress and all that crap. So I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Most of my wife's relatives thought I was just sitting there looking at my TV the whole time they came over. And I was actually working, on the internet. Building websites, setting up emails, setting up servers, building them from the ground up. So that's what I do at home. I've been doing that for 20 years. I'm self-employed for 20 years. So I can work anywhere.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the Lost Product, not you.
The Lost Product? Yeah, the guy in chat.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing pretty good, man. I mean, if you're looking to get to a new place and stay warmer, I think that you got a good mindset about you. And I know, all right. I mean, just from the conversations we've had together, Drops, I'm pretty sure you'll do just fine.
Oh, I've been doing good for years. I'm just more worried about more people in this world right now with the current situation. So, I see the anxiety, I see the depression, and I don't like to see that because you need to look forward to the future and you need to look into the, what's going to happen in the future as far as what you can actually achieve. And I was going to do a video on finance and about ways to invest. I'd done one before, but I'm even going to stress that even more, so people can actually make money for their future, and kind of insulate themselves. But anyways,
Selling a kidney on the black market.
I hear it fetched a pretty hard price. Actually, we're looking at like man, I think it's upwards of $6 or $7 grand right now. Which I don't know. I want to keep mine. I'm going to need it with all the drinking I do.
where you live again, Johnny?
I was gonna say here on the main line, it's like 50 grand for a kidney on the black market.
Really?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off. I just wanted to come up and say hello because y'all didn't really see my face before, and I want you all to know me, and this is who I am, and I just want to say hello, and that's about it.
Hey, Drops, man, it's great to finally see you, and thanks for hanging out, and I'll keep up with you in all the comments and all that stuff. I'll hit you up, okay?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We're good.
Yeah,
Thank you all. Good night.
Yeah.
God bless.
Good night, Drops. Have a good one, man. Take care. Be safe.
Yeah.
Dude, this is ridiculous. I just Googled this because I was bored. I check on this stuff every once in a while. So a liver is worth about $557,000 on the black market.
A liver?
A liver
Dude,
is worth $500,000.
that's gnarly, man. So that's how much I'm going to have to pay when I go down?
If you want to sell off your parts, she can make a good profit off of you.
I'm going to have to tell my wife about that. So when I go and get hacked, man, or like something happens down here and I get half eaten by sharks, hopefully the sharks don't get to the liver part.
Dude, as long as they get the bottom half and you still have the lungs and the heart, you're good to go.
No, man, I want to freeze dry my weenie.
Dude, it's going to be shark bait. That's
Right?
probably going to be why the shark bit you, because he thought it was a little worm.
It's a small meal, dude.
It's a dangler.
It's an appetizer at most.
Did you see that video of Big Deep Blue, that shark off Oahu that the girls went swimming with?
No, I didn't get to see it.
There's this shark. It's a great white that swam all the way from Mexico. They had seen it in Mexico, and it's, I don't know, it was like a 40-foot great white, and she went swimming with it. I mean, and it's like as big as a bus,
For Mr. Loss's comment there, dude, like at that rate, that's vindictive and a sign of a battering personality. And for that, you make your own decision, man. You know what I mean? You want to stay there or do you want to split? For me, I'd be like ghost, man. I'd be ghost. I'd have like all my stuff and I'd be out the door.
Fart in the wind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. They'd come home. There wouldn't be anything there, man. I'd be like the Grinch, man. Even the wires and the nails off the wall are.
Strip the paint just to mess with them. Take the floorboards.
Yep.
I've seen people that are vindictive like that. They'll take the couch, the counters, the cabinets. It's like, dude, you basically just stripped everything out of the house and just left them with the walls.
Yeah, canceled, dude. Canceled, man. Canceled. Off the roster. Man, it's nice out. How's the weather over there, Volcano, man? It's beautiful over here.
Well, it's been raining a hell of a lot lately up in Volcano. It's just wonderful when like I said, the weather changes here on a dime. So we had like an hour of sunshine in the morning, and then the clouds rolled in, and it was raining all the rest of the day. And it gets cold here at night. When I first thought about, if I have to bug out because the shit hits the fan, I'll bug out to Volcano and just set up a bushcraft camp in the jungle. But it is cold out here at night. It's at 3,500 feet elevation. It's like it gets cold.
Yeah.
So,
Hello, MT.
Right.
Fireplace, heater, and stuff like that.
Right in the neck of your woods, man, dude. Like I said, it's snowing over there right now, man. I was wondering if you've seen any snow. I haven't got any yet.
No, Mauna Loa is like another 10,000 feet up.
Yeah, well, it ain't that far compared to like a cross country trip.
Well, basically, yeah, I live on Kilauea, and that is like a little bump on Mauna Loa. But going up, yeah, it's a little cross country trip, but it's like straight up, you know. I think what does Mauna Loa top out at 15,000 or something like that, or 17,000? And if you go,
No worries, Rob.
All right, Lost Product.
Lost Product, good night. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you have a great and wonderful night.
Yeah, and Lost
Mauna
Product.
Loa is like one of the tallest mountains on the planet. If you go where it starts under the ocean, you know, on the floor of the sea, it's like the tallest mountain on the planet.
Yeah, it's kind of that for Haleakala over here, you know. And you know, I put up that one video of us going up there and camping and stuff, and I haven't seen snow. I'm expecting snow maybe hopefully in a couple weeks here.
Well, have you ever done the bicycle ride down, like the sunrise bicycle ride down from Haleakala?
No way, man. That's for Howleys.
It's a bicycle ride. It's downhill. How does that get racial?
Well, no, it's not racial. It's just like it's a lot of people like die from that, and I would, but like my bike isn't made for that kind of thing. Like the brakes and everything else, I got tested on them in the gym. But you need one of those heavy steel bikes for that, and
How the hell with brakes?
yeah, no, and you know, I haven't done it. I guess I would. I'm down for anything, but like it hasn't been something that I've looked into. Like, cause I used to have really like awesome like pro bike friends from Canada that lived here back when I was in high school. I used to drop them off at the crater, and they'd go down the backside of Poli Poli. So they'd wind up down in Kihei out of Maui Meadows, man, and I'd pick them up down there. I'd rather do that because it's full off grid. And it's full off the radar, you know, and they go, and it's more like motocross than it is actual riding a bike. And I'd rather do that. Honestly.
Well, when I first came out to the Big Island, I did a backward bicycle trip all the way around the Big Island, and it was great. Band support, and it was just awesome.
That's what I hear. I hear the Lanai. They got one in Lanai, really nice too. And I would be down to do it, but like I said, I like to I don't want to do like I try to not do what the adventure tours or like the boosts are trying to get people to do, you know, and I'm trying to get like on those trips to less beaten path and more local per se, you know. It's like
the Big Island is a less beaten path. I mean, you're in Hawaii. You are 3,000 miles. You're the most remote island chain on the planet. Okay, from you're the farthest possible you could possibly be from any mainland anywhere. I mean, so you're in the boonies, in any part of Hawaii. You know,
but it's not really the boonies.
You guys are like dead in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, but it's not really the boonies, man. Dude,
well,
like
say that. I mean, just imagine what would happen if there was a shipping interruption.
Yeah, no, I don't mean like that. It's just like it's hard to find places. Like I grew up here, man. Okay, like back in high school, not even high school, like 8th grade, man. Like I used to be able to go and bike down the street. There's no one, man. Now you can't go anywhere without someone just showing up out of random, like out of nowhere, and it's someone they're not even from here, and they just roll up, man, when you're just trying to chill. You know what I mean? And like, you know, they want to like try and talk to you or something, and it's just like, yo, dude, not right now, man. Like I'm having me time, and I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. And it's just like you got these awesome spots that are like they're just beaten paths now, man. Like you can't get to a place where someone won't just come rolling up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like before, growing up, man, me and some friends. Here's a good story for you. Me and some friends, we grabbed a bunch of his dad's guns, and then we went and stole his car keys, and we jumped in his truck, and we jacked his truck for the evening. And we went and just drove. We drove probably 5 miles tops, and unloaded, and no one came. No one came. We were out there laughing, drinking his beer, and shooting his guns. And then we came back. We cleaned everything up and put everything back. And the only thing he noticed is that we eat all his venison beef jerky, drank all his beer, and used all his ammo. That's all he knew. Nothing ever happened.
That should have gotten you a beat down.
Like,
I was gonna say, dude, he didn't notice the mileage on the speedometer on the odometer.
oh, he got home. It was funny because it was my best friend, and he used to call me Junior. And he's all, damn it, Junior. He's all, you're a part of this, weren't you? You know, he's all, you can't come over here for 2 weeks. You know, he's all, I hate you, you little.
Hate my
you know,
thumb. Somebody use my ammo.
the stuff he said to me, man, and man, it was gnarly. I couldn't come over for 2 weeks because of that. And but to put it in perspective for you, back then we could do that. You know, a kid could go out and have fun like that. Now
Yep.
you can't. You know, you can't
Not
do it.
unless you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly, Cliff. That's what I'm getting at. The only way for me to get out in the middle of nowhere now is to do what I do and go night dive. So I asked my friends. I've got 8 friends. I'm like, who wants to get off the island for a while? They're like, Johnny, where are we going? I'm like, we're gonna go down here and then we're gonna go lobstering, or we're gonna go get out, and we're going like.
Well,
Five-
I'm not into night diving because it's too dangerous. I mean, as soon as you step into the ocean, it's the wild.
Of course.
I mean, mankind has tamed the land. Okay, there's no real predators on the land except for other men. You go out into the ocean, there's real predators who will eat you.
Yeah, I've been doing it my whole life.
There's predators on land that will eat you.
Lucky so far.
Yeah, you know, I have been lucky so far, and I've eaten well from it.
I remember one time, one of the first times I came over here, not the first time, but I was like in Kapoho, which doesn't exist anymore. They had champagne ponds and volcanically heated tide pools, and I was swimming in the ocean, but it was really near the land, and it's like the cold, clear mountain water was flowing out of the rocks. It was a different temperature than the ocean water and they mixed together, and it was really murky, and you couldn't see more than like 2 feet in front of your face. And so I was swimming around, and all of a sudden, this gigantic reptilian head pops in my face. I almost had a heart attack. This gigantic turtle almost scared me to death.
Oh, dude, those river mouths are where you don't go. That's your first mistake. Secondly, if you got less than 10-foot viz, you don't go. And another third thing, after it rains, you don't go. Another good important rule to have 4 is you never get in the ocean when the sun is in the ocean. So when the sun swims, you're not in there. That means twilight hours, no good, man. So there's certain rules to it, man. Like I've been doing it my whole life, man. And like I said, yeah, sure, I've been lucky. It could happen to anyone, but I have like certain rules I take and precautions. I never go alone. I'm always 5 guys deep, and we're all armed to the teeth. You know, it's like
So are great white sharks.
we have great whites here, but there's only like a couple that have been seen in the migration with the whales, dude, out at Molokini. And like, they don't the great white.
You need to see the video of Deep Blue. Just Google Deep Blue. Yeah. There's a shark named Deep Blue, and this girl goes swimming with it. And I thought she was crazy, but the shark was more curious about the person. But it was like what happened was there was a whale carcass, right? And there was a bunch of tiger sharks feeding off of it. So she goes in and wants to go. The sharks are eating the whale, so she figures it'll be safe.
Oh, no.
And so she's swimming around watching the tiger sharks eat the whale carcass, and then all of a sudden, all the tiger sharks disappear. They all vanished, and so then like a minute later, you find out why they all vanished, because this 40-foot great white shark, Deep Blue, cruises in to eat the whale carcass, and it's just dwarfs the tiger sharks. They're like, we're out of here.
I'd have been out of that water the minute them tiger sharks disappeared, because I know full well that if a tiger shark vanishes, there's something bigger very close.
There's 22 years ago here in Maui, off of the west side, off of Lahaina, a similar story that you have, Volcano. A lady got bit in half, right? So she went to go for a swim. She was an older lady, and she took a morning swim every day, and she'd go and swim 5 miles. And she'd always bring her dog, and that day her dog wouldn't get in the water. And she went swimming, and this happened off the west side right over here. And she went swimming, and she saw a bunch of splashing in the water. And she, I guess people saw her go out, and like saw the same thing she did. Everyone thought it was dolphins. So she's like thinking, oh, I'm going to swim and go and see some dolphins, Well, she came up on a bunch of tiger sharks eating a baby whale. And just as soon as she got up on it and realized it was sharks, they turned around and they were in a feeding frenzy and they got her too.
Oof.
So, yeah.
So people have been, there was one guy who went kayaking. He goes kayak fishing like every day off of Kauai High, and one day he went fishing and they found his kayak floating with his fishing rig, and he wasn't on it anymore, and there was just a tiger shark swimming around with a smile on his face. And people had wrote letters to the editor and complained, why don't the police do something about it? And the police were like, you want us to go out and arrest a shark for being a shark?
For doing what it normally does?
Well, you know what's interesting is I had actually talked to some people about that. And if you got like a pack of lions or a pack, they call it a pride. A pride of lions in Africa that kill a person. What happens is they call the rangers. The rangers go out there with rifles. They don't kill the lion that killed the person. They kill the entire pride. They kill them all. But out here, if a shark kills a human being, what they do is they close the beach for 3 days, and then that's it. You know what I mean? There's
lions live on land, and once they once they identify people as food, then people don't live in the ocean. At least they shouldn't. They live on land, and the sharks live in the ocean. So if you just
all right,
take care, Jason. Have a good one, man. Thanks for joining us tonight, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
The point being is there's nothing that's actually done about it. You know what I mean? Like
they can do.
About sharks.
What's that? You fish them out. Yeah. You basically you can fish out the most dangerous ones, and get as many out to drop their decimals.
You can, but I mean, they're sharks that they've been around for millions of years. They're just going to do what they do best, and they're just going to keep coming back.
Yeah. So you keep them. You got to try and keep them in check. I guess I would try and target tiger sharks, and
you can't take out the predators of a natural environment and expect the natural environment not to just suffer. Yeah, they're the apex predators of the ocean, next to like killer whales. I mean, they're the apex predators, and you can't take an apex predator out without just destroying the environment. I mean, if you care about it at all.
I agree. There's definitely repercussions. I'm just saying, there are ways to keep in check. It's almost like controlling a weed or an invasive species. Well, what they consider invasive, you know what I mean? Like out here in Hawaii, they consider everything invasive. They, hogs and deers and everything. Well, maybe
because hogs are invasive no matter where you're at. You can control the population, but you get one cell have like 15 to 30 freaking piglets.
Exactly.
How are you going to stop that every season? If you've got 30 of them doing it, you've got 200 pigs.
Exactly, Cliff. So that's the thing, if and the hogs are good eating. So if you just turn that into a food source and you keep the decimals at least a little under check, it's better than nothing. It's better than just turning away and be like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, except hunting hogs involves guns, and this government is so anti-gun, it's just ridiculous.
Actually, they use traps out here, man. My friend's got a ranch, and they go and they use dogs. They use dogs and knives and traps.
Sure. People can use dogs and knives, but it's like that's not very efficient. I could do a lot better with my CZ 527 and my scope, and especially if they allowed night hunting. I could get rid of so many hogs so fast.
You'd be really surprised, man. My friend gets like hogs on the ranch, and I could probably score free meat. And not only that, so now they're getting hit on the highway, man. They're getting hit on the highway a bunch.
Oh yeah, I drove by. I was driving back to Kona for like to doctors or dentists or something, and driving down from Volcano back up through Nailu, like about a mile before the police station, there's a mama hog and like 5 babies, like just right on the side of the road. It's like, who wants bacon for breakfast? Except if you start shooting right a mile from the police station, somebody's going to come and find out what's up. But,
No, that's why you gotta have the dogs and the knife or a bow, quiet and.
Well, if you stab a hog 5 miles from police, they'll hear the hog scream and think it was a person and you for animal cruelty or something stupid.
No, but it's not illegal, and it's not illegal
if you have a hunting license,
dude. Out here, man, like, bro, my friends hit them, tagged them off the highway, man, and got them like with the knife.
The invasive species that I'm dealing with is the yellow Himalayan raspberry bush. You have any of those over there?
Only up country, man. Not here in Kiev.
Yeah, it's. I think I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna take out my Greek kopis sword and just attack it. I made a video attacking it with a samurai sword, my katana, but it's like. The thorns on that thing are nasty as shit, and
I've been spiked by one. I know what you're talking about.
And I basically, I went to get some really thick welding gloves from the welding company in Hilo, really super thick, because regular gloves you can't, if you chop it down one of the branches or limbs of the bush, I mean you can't pick it up. It's like picking up razor wire.
No,
those little thorns are thick too.
You know what's crazy is those little damn things, man. They get caught in your damn hand too.
Well, yeah, that's why I got these super thick gloves, so I can pick it up, chop it up with the machete, and put it in a box and take it to the dump. But it's like there's only 2 ways to get rid of it, and that's one is with a bulldozer, and the other one is with Roundup. And people don't like using Roundup around here a lot, so.
Well,
not after that massive lawsuit that they had.
It goes with the Monsanto thing, but I got some great advice for you. Do what I do.
What? Get married?
No, light it on fire.
It won't do any good. It really won't, because they're perennials. And I have a Red Dragon flame torch. Okay. Yeah. But if you burn it down, it's just going to spring right back up from the root. And the bushes I have are I mean, I can pull up the little ones the birds spread them all around, so they grow up. But the big ones, it's like you gotta pull them up by the root. Pretty much
all you gotta do, man, is take a gallon of gasoline. And then go and dissolve a bunch of styrofoam into that gasoline, and then add a little bit of 2-stroke oil and some diesel fuel.
If any of the roots survives underground, it'll just spring right back up.
Yeah.
So these are like weeds.
They're perennial.
You take it, man, and you mix that up, and then get yourself some cold packs, right? Those cold packs they put in first aid kits, and you cut that open. You know what's in there, right? Ammonium nitrate. So you take that.
Well, hey, I was perfectly happy to just, take my binary, put like 50 pounds of binary, but it would just grow back after the explosion, and
it would spread the seeds everywhere too.
There would be thorns flying in every direction too, from that thing. So, I'll save my binary explosives for more pressing infiltrator kind of a target, if I need to set up a landmine or something.
Right.
If you need to set up a landmine, what you set a snare with a trigger wire attached to one of those bushes, and you just have that bush slap them in the face.
Oh yeah, it's like what I'm going to do when I cache like my ammo. If they're going to come after the ammo and guns, I'll just. I'll bury it. I'll plant some raspberry bushes over it. And,
Yeah, they never get into it.
Yeah, I like that, man. I really like where you're going with this.
Actually, do it. If you're gonna do it the best way. Mix it with rose bush. So you got a raspberry and a rose bush growing around that thing, dude. Ain't nobody going in there.
Yeah, man. Or what's that other one, Cliff? Briar.
Oh, briars. Ooh,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Whew.
Nasty, man.
And it's literally like a great barrier defense. It's just that it's really a danger if you have, man and beast, those thorns, So
Yeah.
it's, I mean, if somebody was like trying to invade my property or something, I just go behind the raspberry bushes and say, "Here I am, come and get me," and let
Like that. What was that old fable when we were kids, man? The rabbit and the fox, or that's what it was, right?
Fox in the hair.
Yeah, yeah. The fox or the rabbit goes into the briar patch and hides or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember how it goes. There was an old fable story about that when I was growing up. Awesome.
Yeah, I remember that like vaguely, but I haven't talked about that in. No, it's like the Lego defense, dude. You just scatter your Legos on the floor, and nobody goes in there barefoot. You have to wear shoes.
Man, Legos are excruciating, man.
Dude, they hurt like heck when you start. Dude, they have the sharpest 90-degree corners for plastic.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Well, I just have caltrops. If I have it, I can throw caltrops on the ground. I have those.
I have some too, actually. They're in my truck.
I had somebody make some good ones, not like the cheap ones you get online, but I had actually somebody make me some real ones.
Mine are decent. They're actually still like like pointy AF, and I almost stepped on one time.
You're lucky you did, man. Dude, that would.
Dude, they came in like 8, but each one of those boxes probably weighed about 8 ounces. Those things are heavy.
Yeah. They're heavy duty.
They were originally used by I think the Romans against Hannibal's elephants.
Yep, I think sounds about.
Basically, it's like an elephant. If an elephant steps on it, then instead of charging at the Romans, it turns around and charges back at the stone troops.
Counter defense, man.
But yeah, they've been used forever. If so somebody's chasing you, all you need to be able to do is weld 2 nails together and bend them.
Dude, you want to do it the cheap way? Just go buy buy like 2 or 3 bags of Jacks.
Yeah, I've actually seen this website. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, that used to sell them like dirt cheap, and it's called Shomer Tech. You guys ever heard of Shomer Tech before?
No,
it's a pretty crazy site. I don't know if it still exists. It was like a 90s thing. It might not exist anymore. They sell it to a lot of
Ooh, Sean's going dangerous over here.
Sean? No,
yeah,
Sean.
Oil and a bag of marbles on the floor, dude. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Or if you have a wood floor, just put dish soap on the floor, and anybody that tries to walk on it will just fall on their ass.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. That's when you do that and you just set thumbtacks down.
Yeah, Sean's getting all Home Alone on me.
Right.
But where I'm living now, I haven't had one intruder. I mean, except for a census worker. I haven't had any intruder, and I should have just thrown her off right away.
Well, your dog would have taken care of that.
I don't have a dog.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm going as soon as I finish my get my yard rebuilt. That's a whole nother. I have to finish digging my trench. Then I have to. Somebody's going to dump a dump truck load of cinder soil, and I got to wheelbarrow that from the driveway to where my lawn is, so I can have a flat lawn and bury the PEX line which they didn't bother to do. They just laid it over the lawn, and it's sensitive to UV. And so I've been digging a trench through lava rock up here, and I stopped because I had so much Airbnb work that took priority over digging a trench. Got it halfway done, but man, it was digging through lava rock with a pickaxe and a shovel is real bitch.
Yeah, no.
Y'all need to send me some lava rock, dude. I mean, I live in a volcanic region, but we can't take the lava rock because it's considered So like national landmark stuff, so you can't take it anymore.
It's not good to ship out of here either. It's bad juju, dude.
Damn, I want some Hawaiian lava rock.
You can get like some serious bad mana from it, so it's no good.
That's what I want.
Bad karma. You want bad
Yeah,
karma?
dude, bad karma's never hurt me. Like we're all old enough to remember chainmail, right?
Yeah, Cliff. It's funny is Blake told me a thing the other day about bad juju, and because I was in Boy Scouts in Florida when I was like, 7. I was 7, and I found an arrowhead on an Indian burial ground, and I kept it. And he's like, Johnny, that's serious bad juju. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna leave the arrowhead, man, that I found in Boy Scouts, man. I'm sorry, and I still have it. I got it stashed away somewhere. Never had any problem, dude.
See,
Yeah.
a lot of that
I'll tell you
stuff
a story. I wouldn't take any Hawaiian rocks. When I was a kid, I think the first time I visited Hawaii, I was like 13, and I visited some black sand beach somewhere. So I filled a Pepsi bottle full of black sand and took it back home with me to California when I was living over there, and I kept that with me forever until I was renting a place in Malibu, and then in '91 the fire burned the whole place down.
Gnarly.
coincidence.
So I would say if you don't want your house to burn down, don't take any rocks off the island. I mean, it's okay if you're on the island to move rocks around. I don't think there's any bad karma for moving rocks around on the island. But taking them off the island, that's bad karma.
Yeah, it's the curse of Lona.
All right, I'm flying to Hawaii, and I'm going to take me the biggest rock I can possibly carry or ship over here, and I'm going to see what happens.
Well,
I think my favorite Hawaiian god isn't Lono. It's Kaili.
yeah.
Kukaili Moku.
I was gonna tell you, Cliff, is Grace was stationed out here at Haleakala, and when she was in the Air Force, she said she still has her lava rock she took from the crater.
See, nothing's bad happened to her.
Yeah, and she's doing good. Like, so, I don't know. I'm not like
When was the last time you talked to her?
About 2 seconds ago when she posted right here.
yeah. So it's like and she's great. Everyone loves Grace, but I'm not a very superstitious person, but I just respect the Aina. So,
I think it's probably just like a regional thing because you've been out there so long that you respect the island deities. Where
Yeah.
a lot of people in the U.S. like if you desecrate like sacred areas like graveyards or especially Indian burial grounds because of their background, like anything you take from them is considered bad karma, bad juju, whatever.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I growing up in Florida, like I said, I got the arrowhead, and I still have it, and I've never had a problem, and it's a real flint arrowhead, And my it's funny because my scoutmaster wanted to keep it. He's like, "Oh, you found an arrowhead? Give that to me." And he tried to keep it, and I told my dad, and my dad's like, my dad was a cop at the time, and he's like, "No, you're gonna give my son what he found." And then I got it back, and it's mine. It's been mine ever since. So it's like it is what it is.
So you sent in the police to beat up your scoutmaster, basically.
No, not really. He could have been. He could have been. You know what I mean? But he's smarter than that. But never been a problem. Yep. And I know Grace has been good. So, yeah. Well, I got to hit it, man. I got to go and make this pasta for Sean.
Some pasta.
Pasta. So,
Yeah, I had spaghetti for dinner today.
oh, you did? I'm making.
That's funny. I had the exact same thing.
Really? I'm making.
I had spaghetti with sausage.
What'd you get?
I had spaghetti with sausage.
Nice. What kind of sausage did you get?
You know those little smokies that you get at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put like a bag of that and I just cut each one in half and I just tucked it in my pasta sauce and I've been eating that for like 4 days.
Nuts. Did you get the spicy one?
No, I just got the generic ones because, dude, those things are getting they're like $4 and $5 a little pack now.
Yeah. No, they got expensive, man. Everything, like all the charcuterie and like salami and all that stuff got really expensive, except for like ham. Ham is dirt cheap still.
That's because pigs are everywhere, dude.
Yeah. Seriously, huh?
And of course, Nicole's over here, and I'm getting ready to shut her down here.
Yeah. I'm
Because
gonna.
everybody's about to leave. So
It's great hanging out with you guys. Cliff, thanks for having me on. Volcano,
always,
bro, good chat with you, brother.
All right.
Yeah, I'll hit on the flip side, man. I'll catch you guys up and around.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a great night, man.
Have a good one, Johnny.
All right, man. Be cool. Thanks for having me on, Fox.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
I'm glad the trial program thing.
Trial version.
Is that what it was saying? I don't know what it was saying because I didn't hear it.
Every like 4 or 5 seconds, all you would hear was trial version.
Yeah, it's like
Me and Mallory were dying from
they should have done that.
Yeah, like you said, it was probably just a programming issue because you got a camera that was not Microsoft approved and whatnot.
Certified, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It's like I don't care. Airbnb pays me money. YouTube doesn't. Okay, and I have over 1,000 subs, and it's like my watch hours. They moved the goalpost, but what really got me was, when Rain Dance and it's like they really went inside baseball with the stuff about they're really self-censoring. If you go on a Rain Dance's chat, you can't talk about politics, you can't talk about guns, you can't talk about anything that YouTube doesn't like. You can't say the word election or something on it. It's like too much self-censorship. He cares about trying to make money on YouTube, and it's like they were like, if you don't want to actually do anything with your channel, it's like I don't know. For me, YouTube started out as just a creative outlet, and then when I started doing my weekly show back when there was a gun channels and Google still let you do Hangouts, and you didn't have to go on StreamYard and sign over all your Google information access permissions to StreamYard, which I'm not going to do. Then it was like, I don't care anything. It's just I met a lot of there's a really good prepper community. I met a lot of really cool people that I'm still friends with, that I text back and forth all the time about stuff and keep up with. And there's a really good Second Amendment community out there. And I've made a lot of good contacts and met a lot of interesting people. But there's your collection of trolls and stuff that it's the internet, so there's going to be that too. But it's like
they have nothing better to do than troll because they can't go anywhere or do anything. So they're losing a lot of their media outlets for trolling. So the only place they can come is YouTube.
Yeah, somebody just last week trolled a 6-year-old comment on somebody's video that I made, and I was like, "Really? Yeah. You must be desperate to troll a 6-year-old comment."
That's sad.
And it's like, but it pops up in my email like so and so replied to you, and it's like, really?
I'm like, why?
Because I think it was a video from Fire Mountain Outdoors about they were talking about a specific pistol of the SIG, and my comment was, when I went into the gun shop, I looked at that pistol, and the gun store owner said he had one of them, and he sold it to his friend, and what happened was there was an issue with it, and they had to send it back to the manufacturer. And the gun store, based on the price of the SIG 226 pistol being like $1,500, you could get like 3 Glock 17s for that. And so he said, "Don't be stupid, buy a Glock." And just if you people are just, when it comes to their favorite pistol, it's like
they get butt hurt.
Yeah, it's like if you buy a Glock, the 1911 people will never talk to you and unsub you. And if you buy a 1911, all the Glock, it's like just stupid.
It's biased. It's like politics. You're either one side or the other.
Well, yeah, it's the worst part about it is it's the narrative that people get put people onto one side or the other. That I mean, I don't even watch the news. I don't watch TV at all, pretty much. I mean,
I don't even have cable.
I have cable internet, and because I have a 5G router, so that my guests can just turn on their computer, punch in a passcode, and check their email and stuff without having to plug in any cables. So I got a 5G Netgear router in the place because the guests like it, and basically my TV in the main house where I live, it's just hooked up to a Blu-ray player. So I got a collection of Blu-rays and DVDs, and like I binged watched season 2 Hell on Wheels last week because that's one of my favorite shows that was on. It was like, yeah, there's the TV and the guest resident, the cable box works there. I'm gonna try and have an electrician get one working in here just because. I mean, I have 2 TVs like on the wall, mounted one over the other, and
Geez.
they're not hooked up to anything except the Blu-ray. So, and I have a collection of like 200 or whatever Blu-rays and DVDs, and so I can, if I really want to watch something and be entertained that way, I can do that.
I think I might have you beat on the DVDs, but mine are not movies. Most of my stuff is anime.
Well, my dad is a film buff, and he lives in Thousand Oaks, California, Newbury Park, California. It's like around Thousand Oaks, and he's got about 3,000 DVDs and Blu-rays of mostly old. He's like likes the old movies from the golden age of Hollywood, like from the 40s, the 50s, the 30s, and he just likes the old movies. So
Man, you probably got like a shelf full of like 8mm.
Well, I think he transferred everything to digital at some point, but why would we have 8mm? Films are shot on 35.
They had 8mm, but back in the like way back then they had 8mm. I actually had a few friends that actually had 8mm, and they actually had the projector to play it on, which was crazy.
I don't remember. My dad, I mean, he may have shot. I think, when he visited, he went a long time ago. He went on a trip to China, and when people still went to China, and it was like the first time they let people in to the country, and it's like they didn't have indoor plumbing in most of the places for the tourists. It was like an outhouse or something like that. But I think he when he came back, he invited all of his friends from work over. I think it was 16mm that he shot everything on. I can't remember, but he had it all transferred to digital at some point.
Okay.
All of his stuff, because I mean, film decays over time.
Oh yeah.
If it isn't, I mean, if it isn't transferred, I mean, a lot of famous films that there's like charitable foundations that try and restore the old films and digitize them so that for prosperity, for that's not the right word, but so the future generations could appreciate them, basically.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think of the word too, but it's like slipping my mind right now. But yeah, I mean, most of these kids nowadays, they're not even gonna. You show them an old black and white film from like way back in the day, and they're gonna be like, "What is this garbage?" I'm like, "Dude, this is a classic."
Well, that's because people got used to the bells and whistles, the 3D, all the tricks that, and they got away from the nuts and bolts of real filmmaking, or they just never learned it, which was character interactions drive the plot. And you can say that to somebody who's even in the industry and who's a writer in the industry, and they'll be, oh yeah, I get that. But no, they don't get it. character interactions driving a plot. It's like the basic fundamentals that and the old movies had to have it because they didn't have any of those bells and whistles that the kids want to see. There wasn't animation, there wasn't any of the film tricks that people are.
That was. Whew. Sorry, that freaked me out. My TV went off all of a sudden. It was like sound all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Anyway, but when you get to be an old guy, you just appreciate some of the classics, I guess.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, I still like some of the black and white films that I've seen, in my opinion, actually were some of the better films that I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's not the color that it really is the character interactions but everything has changed now. There's not going to be any more movie theaters. I mean, they're all closed.
Not for a while, at least. Not probably until next year.
They're going out of business. They can't just close up like that and just open up like at some future point when the government says, okay, they're done. And on top of that, the film companies have pretty much, they're not going to take any more guff from the damn movie theaters who demanded the film company spend X amount of money promoting the film before, or they wouldn't put it in their theaters, and they would demand this and they would demand that, and the film companies used to just cave, and they're not going to do that anymore. So it's just not practical business-wise for a movie theater chain to stay open, and they're all going out of business. And a lot of things are going out of business. And
the economy is tanked because of this pandemic. I mean, it has ruined a lot of stuff.
Well, that was the pinprick that exposed a lot of the weaknesses, and I think it's just a good idea for everyone to be prepared. I mean, what I liked about your channel so far from what I've seen is you're doing more gardening than I am, and that's something that I've been desperate for time to work on, is setting up a vegetable garden and plant some fruit trees around the property. But I've just been working on the damn Airbnb because it's money, and because there's a huge list of stuff to do around here. I will get this damn vegetable garden up and running, and I've basically been unearthing lava rock from the trench out of my yard. Excuse me. Out of my yard.
Yeah, that's going to be the big problem, is digging through all that basically freaking glass.
And it's like the vegetation doesn't want to let it go. It's like growing into little holes in the rock. And so you got to really pry each rock up from the land. I've got this one rock that's so big, I'm going to just need a sledgehammer. I'll use my sledgehammer to smash it because there's no way I can dig it up with. I got a pickaxe kind of wedged underneath it, but I just bust the handle if I tried to use brute force. The handle would snap. And so
do you have a tile saw by chance?
A pile saw? No, I don't even know what that is.
For a tile on the floor, like bathroom tile?
Tile saw? I don't have one, no.
I was going to say, if you could get a tile saw and put a decent crease into the lava rock, you put a splitting wedge in there and you hit that with a hammer and it should split it right in half.
Well, blue lava rock is pretty hard. I have a splitting wedge. I have a sledge and a wedge, but I'm kind of thinking that it's not going to do any good in lava rock. Blue lava rock, it's got a pretty damn Rockwell hardness that's and it's not brittle. It's a high Rockwell hardness, and it's not brittle. But I will smash it with a sledgehammer, and I'll make a video of doing it. I don't know what's going to happen. So,
I'd be wearing protective gear if I were you, because I know lava rock, when you break that stuff, it gets razor sharp.
Oh, sure. Well, I don't have all that much protective gear for like my legs or anything, but I wear glasses and stuff and gloves.
At least wear 2 or 3 layers, like two pairs of protection.
Well, I don't have
Or
any.
hell, if you got if you have riding chaps, use those. Fuck it.
I could buy chainsaw chaps, at the store, but I'll probably just swing a sledgehammer and see what happens. Trust to luck that it doesn't. Then the rock is going to win, and I'm not going to do too much to it, But we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a huge rock that.
Like, how big is the rock? Like, define huge. Like a spare tire for like a Geo Metro, or are you talking like full size truck tire size?
Well, it's really hard to tell because it's halfway. Most of it is buried underground. The only part, it's just part of it juts up like an iceberg, and
Ooh.
and so because it's in the lawn, I just don't want it jutting up. So if I could smash it down, smash off the top of it, then that'll be good enough for me, and I could just bury it under a foot of cinder soil. When I have it dumped in my driveway, and I can just wheelbarrow it and then plant the lawn over it. But because it's not directly in the way of where the water pipe trench is going.
Okay. So you're just getting rid of it because it's there.
Yeah, I just don't want people to trip over it, and I don't want like that thing jutting up in the middle of my lawn that the dog's gonna run on when I get one. So or people are gonna walk on and trip over, because right now my lawn is it's a collection of rocks with grass growing on it. I know. If you take a pickaxe and hit the ground anywhere on the lawn, you'll hear it hit a rock.
You just hear that ting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a lawn; it's a collection of rocks. But it looks like a lawn at first glance until you try and walk on it. And there's parts of it that aren't stable, and because there's just loose rocks. And I've been working on it, but it's like a pretty huge job. So, but I'll get it done as soon. If I could get like a week of sunny weather, it would be done. But we haven't had a week of sunny weather. It's like we had like 3 straight weeks of rain, and where it was just digging up, getting on my knees and pulling up rocks out of the trench. A muddy trench isn't my idea of. I mean, but it's not like critical with I have to get this done now. I'm going to put on my rain gear. I mean, I have rain gear. I could go out and do it. It's just, it's not.
There's no point.
That critical of I don't need to it's not an emergency thing that has to be done.
Why go make yourself miserable digging out in the dirt and mud, getting all nasty and dirty when you could just wait till it's decent?
Yeah, but so far it hasn't been decent. I mean, the only thing I have to dig in a panic is if they're going to confiscate everyone's guns and ammo, then I'll dig a cache out in the jungle where nobody will find it. And then if they have come show up my house with a warrant, I'll go ahead and search all you want. They'll drill the gun safe, and they'll find I'll leave some 10-round Glock mags in there for them because those are neutered and I don't like them anyway. They won't find them.
Gotcha.
33-round mag.
They're going to be sitting there though. They're going to ask you, be like, "Why do you just have clips in here?" It's like, because this is where I store my clips.
I won't answer any questions. It'll be like, you talking to me? I don't have anything to say. You have a warrant. Go ahead and search. They won't find anything, And if I'm not here, if I see like a bunch of cops mustering outside my property, I'll just walk into the jungle, put on my Tiger Stripe gear, walk into the jungle, and they'll never see me.
That'll work too.
And so the police report will read like executed search warrant, on HVS's house. Nobody was home. There weren't any guns in there. Couldn't find any guns or ammo. We left a note, and we took two 10-round Glock mags. That's all we.
Yeah, they'll be sitting there scratching their heads trying to figure out why you just had two 10-round clips in the thing.
Well, they'll just look out the window, look into the jungle, and say, "Well, we ain't." They'll see the raspberry bushes, and it's like, "No, we ain't going out in there." Shit. The around here do not go into the jungle. That's not their. I mean, if they sent special forces after me, they would find me, but they're not going to do that. You know.
No, it's
So-
too much taxpayer money. They're not gonna fork out the funds to do that.
Well, what for? I mean, I've got a perfectly clean, record. I've never done anything wrong, and why would they send special forces after me?
Yeah, exactly. If you ain't done anything wrong, there's no need for it.
I mean, they could say we want to confiscate his guns, and he didn't turn them in at Nazi headquarters, and it's like, well, okay, but we're special forces. Don't you have any terrorists that we can go after? That's not. They're not going to go send special forces to find somebody who's just disappeared from their house, and the police couldn't find his AK or something.
Yeah, they'll probably send like the locals out there for like a search and rescue, and if they can't find you within like 24 hours, they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, we looked, but we couldn't find nobody, so that's the end of that."
Yeah, I mean, so, but one of my YouTube friends from Gun Channel said, "Well, I wish if I was there, I would have finished that trench for you." I said, "Don't worry. If you come out like next year, you can dig my cache, my Prepper ammo and guns cache out in the jungle, but you have to do it at night in the rain so nobody sees where it is, so, and no lighting also." So. So, I mean, he was in the Marines. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, there we go. So, all right, Sean, take care, man. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you on the next one, or I will see you on your live on Monday or Saturday. One of the two. I'll be in there.
What day is it today? Anyway, I forgot.
Well, it's almost. It's still Thursday.
Okay, Thursday.
Well, at least it's Thursday for me for at least another 13 minutes, and then it'll be Friday morning.
Yeah, it's only 9. It's almost 9 p.m. here, so I got 3 more hours on Thursday. It looks like.
Yeah, because you guys are, I think, now 3 hours behind me right now, just because of daylight savings.
Are you in? What state are you in?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. All right.
Yeah, so since you guys don't have daylight savings down there, you're 3 hours behind me. Stupid daylight savings. I think it'll be 4 once the thing goes back to normal.
Spring forward, fall back. So, do you plant your stuff in spring, or are you? Since you kind of have a greenhouse, right?
Yeah, I have it's a little 6x6 greenhouse that I've got most of my herbs and stuff in there. I'm growing a couple of other things like radishes, which surprisingly are doing really well at the moment. But I use the greenhouse now. I'm just keeping a lot, like I said, a lot of my herbs going, which have actually been pretty good because I've gotten a decent collection of stuff. I've got 2 of these little guys. They're just little like McCormick seasoning things. I got 2 of these completely full. And then I have another container like similar to this. That's about half full of seasoning. This one just has, I think, basil leaves in it. I'm not sure. Forgot what was in here. No, that's basil. So yeah, I just got dry basil in this one. But I'm actually I've been planting little by little every week or two. I plant something new just for prosperity stakes. Hey, Streamfire, long time no see. But yeah, just plant little by little.
That's the word I was looking for, posterity.
Yeah, that was the one that was at the tip of my tongue earlier when we were talking about the film industry.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I want to
Take care, Grace. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me, dear. See you on the next one.
I want to plant some fruit trees around the property. I'm going to go for an orange tree, a papaya tree or 2, and a lemon tree. But I got to clear out the space for it. Clear out some raspberry bushes.
Yeah, those raspberries. Are you at least picking the raspberries to eat?
Well, not because the thing about the raspberry bushes with the thorns is generally if I wait for a sunny day to go pick them, by the time that happens, it's a nice sunny day. I'm gonna go pick some. The birds will have gotten them by then, because the birds are fast. They live out there, and I go out and look at them, and they're but it's like they're not quite ready. They'll be really ripe in like a week or something, and by then the birds get them.
Yeah, so, you wait that 3 days, and then they're like picked clean.
So, but I mean, there's plenty of little flowers for buds to start new raspberries, but it's just a question of I'm not going. I mean, I have to go put on my welding gloves so I don't get mauled by the thorns to go pick them, and I just don't feel like picking raspberries in the rain.
Yeah, no, that's not very fun.
And we've been having like hella rain.
I wish I had that. I live in the desert. I need water.
Well, I made a video. I have a water tank video, and I made a video called Plenty Water, where I just showed a picture of the rain out of my front door, hitting the garage and falling off the eaves of the roof. I mean, I could stand under the roof eaves and just take a shower, if I, soap up. And if you don't mind cold water, just taking a rainwater shower under the eaves of the roof, because it's just we get.
To be honest, man, just having a shower sometimes, no matter if it's cold, is a blessing.
Yeah, well, I like indoor plumbing and my hot water heater.
Well, so does everybody else because we're conditioned to it. But do you imagine all those people back in the days before all of this happened? They were actually still taking cold showers.
Yeah, life was different. And people had to grow their own food. And it's like I have a pretty big cache of freeze-dried food and stuff like that. But I haven't posted the videos because I just, I don't know. It's against my OPSEC sensibility.
Moral code?
No, not moral. It just, it doesn't, from an operational security standpoint, it doesn't make sense to post all my preps, I texted pictures to my friends, on YouTube, or if I'm going to start one of the things I'm going to try and do is get a mutual assistance group going where I live. I've been living up here since, I moved up here August 1st, last year. And that was a trial moving up from Kona, man. It was.
Well, if you're gonna do what if you're gonna get one of those, get Johnny on that program. See if he'll join.
Well, he's not anywhere near me. He's not on the same island. I'm talking about people that like live up in here in Volcano.
Oh, got you, local.
Yeah, local. I mean, it doesn't do me any good to have somebody on a different island in a mutual assistance group. We can't help each other.
That's true.
So, but and I've got a neighbor who's a doctor who might come in handy. Of course, he's kind of like not exactly a gun-friendly person, but I got an electrician friend who is, and just that I'm really picky who I'm going to trust with about
sensitive information.
Yeah, and so it's just it's not just that. That's one of the. It's just I don't know. My experience with life is that it's I find it very difficult to trust anybody, but there are people that I do trust. It's just that I know how devious people can be. And
that's the sad part.
So, and that goes in the field of women too. So,
Very true. Very true.
But as far as just prepping mutual assistance organization, it's something I'm working on because it just looks like things are getting crazier and crazier, and it's hard to. And living on an island 3,000 miles away from the mainland, we're heavily reliant on shipping, delivering food here, and whatever the food problems are in the world. I mean, it just makes sense to try and, I don't. It makes sense to try and form a mutual assistant groups and try and find things in common with people, and I can try and set all the politics and shit aside and just make it about helping each other in tough times.
Yeah.
And and then we can, talk about, stuff like who's going to grow what kind of plants or trees, and who has how much land to do that, and what can people bring to the table. But it's like I don't need to I've got it. I don't need to flaunt it. I don't need to flaunt like all my firearms in somebody's face if they're just like anti 2A or something,
Yeah.
They'll come out when when needed, and not before.
When things go sideways and they're in demand, that's when they'll be there.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell what's going to happen. It's just things are getting so crazy right now, and they're doing so many. I just don't. I've never seen the world this chaotic and
Topsy-turvy.
Well, I don't know how to describe the world right now. It's just
Chaotic.
A certain amount of chaos I expect, but it's just it's not just interesting or chaotic. It's just dangerous. There's a lot of red flag warnings going up on just everywhere. This is.
Why don't we just call it unbalanced? Because that's how everything is right now.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like I'm in a really good place, but it's just there's I think there's strength in numbers, and so I'm going to try and put together a mutual assistance organization group, and but not for any kind of not power in numbers as far as like in a tactical military sense, just in a shared resources, shared capabilities, skill sets, so it's a challenge.
You want the diversities on that, or diversifications or whatever. You don't want like 6 people with the exact same skill set, because then you have no chance of it's just going to be too unbalanced, because you won't have anybody say like on like the medical field. But you said your neighbor's a doctor, so you got medical cover there. But you don't need like 6 guys that have like tactical experience. You only need like 1 or 2, and then you got to have a balanced equation. Otherwise, it goes all topsy-turvy.
Yeah, it's too bad I can't put up the balloon and say, okay, everybody from gun channels, come on down to my place, and we'll like rule the island.
Yeah.
I'll declare myself king. But because it was like the board, it doesn't exist anymore, but it was kind of like the board for guns. There were the people. There's so much knowledge about reloading and building different kinds of platforms and optics, and you could get any question answered by people who actually knew what they were talking about. And it was just interesting, kind of it didn't work because the guy who was running it just he didn't know how to run anything professional at all, and so it wasn't. But it was. I met a lot of interesting people on there, and met some friends, and so now that that's no longer there, and it looks like there's a whole slew of anti-Second Amendment legislation coming down the pike that and it just feels like the walls are closing in on the finance, on on the freedom and on it's just gonna it'll be if I just focus on everybody focuses on saving their ass, that's a good start, but it'd be nice to get through this with some kind of wealth preservation and food security and it's like I kind of am just wondering what's going to happen if it's going to be like the Weimar Republic, after when they get done printing all this money.
Yeah, well, if they do that at some point, money's going to lose its value, and we're all just going to end up going to the bartering system anyway.
I don't know. Somebody's going to figure out a way to grab control over everything. In between Gates buying, Bill Gates is now the number one owner of farmland. It's with the walls, what they're closing in on is that obviously they're shadow banning a lot of people and stuff in trying to control the dialogue and the communications, and they don't want people to be able to. We're losing free speech basically, and that they want to confiscate all the firearms. Grab the guns because political power flows out of a barrel of a gun. They want to control. They want It's like the whole things of their. It's like they want to control. They want the government to be the only single source of food for everybody.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. There's too many people that have their own acreage of you got more than 4 acres of land. You can grow enough food for almost to feed the entire.
We're talking about economies of scale here. 4 acres can't feed, New York or Los Angeles or Atlanta. A bunch of 4-acre farms can't do that. You're talking about economies of scale where you have to feed millions of people.
Yeah, true. That's probably why all that farmland's getting bought up by Gates, is because he knows better. He knows that if he has the rights to that land, he can do whatever he wants with it.
Well, unless the government seizes it from him, or he may just wind up being the government. And
at the rate we're going, freaking Elon Musk might be the new government, because at the moment he's the richest man on the planet.
Well,
or on our continent.
Based on the value of Tesla, stocks are an intangible asset that is stocks and bonds are intangible assets that are held by third parties, crooked third party institutions, and you can't. They're basically they can evaporate into thin air at the drop of a hat. So
all that has to happen is the power grid has to go down and for more than a month, and all that stuff is useless.
Well, but the thing is it's like in England. Did you hear about the chicken cull in England? Around Kent.
No. Like I said, I don't really listen to the news much because.
No, they're not putting this in the news. It's not in the news. They won't. They would put this in the news. So in Kent, England, there's a British UK government agency called DEFRA, Department of Environment, Farms and Rural Agriculture, or something like that. And so they're going around there. They're showing up at people's houses around Kent in white hazmat suits, and they're gassing people's chicken. They're confiscating their chickens and they're gassing them. They have these basically vans that are basically mobile gas chambers, and they put the chickens in there and they gas them because you have to register your chicken in England.
That's stupid.
Yes, it is. Well, it's total government control. So first thing,
government control.
You have to register your chickens, and then now after they go to the people's houses that registered them, and they're killing them. So what happened was there was a small outbreak in a chicken farm in Kent of some kind of bird flu. So now the entire zone, anywhere around there, they just the government shows up in white hazmat suits and say, "We're here to kill your chickens," turn them over. And the people that own chickens, that register their chickens, are required to keep a log of how many eggs they laid, who and where they sold them to, if they sell their eggs, and they have to keep a log of everybody that comes on and off of their farm or their property.
Too many restrictions, way too many. That's just stupid.
And so, so it's all for public safety, right? Because but I know this is but what they're doing is they're banning the ability to grow your own food, and you're not allowed. They have rules. You're not allowed to feed your chickens table scraps. You're not allowed to feed. You can't feed them your kitchen scraps, and chickens love that. You're not allowed to feed them mealworms for some reason. So
the heck? Those mealworms you normally get at the store anyway.
You can't.
They're not normally considered table scraps.
Right. Well, they have rules of what you can and can't feed your chickens. So it's like people in America were worried about having to register our firearms, but in Britain they have to register your chickens.
Yeah, I can understand registering a firearm, but having to register a chicken is just dumb, because what's the chicken going to do? Attack you in the middle of the night and peck your eyes out?
No, the reason they're giving is that Asian bird flu can jump from chickens to people. They've had big chicken culls in Thailand and in China when there was some kind of Asian bird flu going around.
I remember when we had the bird flu down here, and we had the what was that, back in 08 or 07? No, it was 9, or I don't know. It was I don't know, middle of the year, or the season. But I remember when we had the bird flu down here, and they like wiped out all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but it's so people are comparing it to the Holocaust because some of the techniques they're using are similar to what the SS did, except people aren't chickens. Chickens aren't people. But
yeah, chicken is basically just food. Who cares if you kill the food supply? It's just going to come back anyway.
Well, the point is that the people aren't going to. Once they kill their chickens, they aren't going to be able to make their own food anymore.
Yeah.
The chicken turn table scraps into protein. Obviously, you feed them table scraps and you get an egg, right, or two. And so, if the government is the only source where people can get food, then the government controls the people. It's like, so they control the food, the guns, the way information is disseminated, and the currency. Then you're just like, it's like you're in the Matrix, and you can only you're just completely got walls all around you. I mean, it's like what they're going to do is, if they have like a Fed coin, some kind of centralized cryptocurrency, when they're going to ban cash, and they're going to, when they do universal basic income, it's going to be like some kind of centralized cryptocurrency where they can program it. Like, cryptocurrency is supposed to be like, mostly in theory, mostly decentralized. Some coins are more decentralized than others, but the Fed coin is going to be centralized and it's programmable. So if you try and use your money, want to spend your money on something that the government doesn't much approve of, like guns or ammo, then they could program it that if you buy something in that category, you lose. It's only worth 5% of like it's it's only worth 5% of what it would normally be worth if you want to buy something that the government doesn't approve of, and they could program that right into the coin, and they could program it so you can only use your money at government approved stores, and let's say they know you have a firearm, and let's say they've got a law where they're going to want they got a bill, not a law yet, but they're going to want every person that owns a gun to register and have some kind of federal government gun owner's identification card. And if you don't register, because I don't want to register, I don't want to do that. So then they'll say you can't use your government, you can't use any of your currency until you register. So when they transfer everything to FedCoin, if you don't do what they want, they'll just completely take away your ability to do anything.
They'll cut you off completely.
Yeah, you won't be able to buy food. You won't be able to do anything unless you do what they tell you to do. So you're talking about total state control over everything. And so the walls are coming in and it's starting to get, it's like
almost kind of sounds like a FEMA camp, to be honest.
Well, it's like George Orwell's 1984.
Still never watched that movie, and I really need to.
Well, it was a book before it was a movie, so you could just read the book.
To read the movie? Well, sure. I'll read the movie. I'll find the movie and I'll put it in closed captioning. That way I can read it.
Read the movie and watch the book.
I'm going to watch it, sit on my shelf, collect dust, because I hate reading books. I
love reading books, man.
I'm not a book person. I got a bunch of gardening books and survival books, but I have a hard time reading them. I got through halfway through 3 of them, and then I just stopped reading them because I got bored.
Well, you need to find. Well, when I went, I don't know. My reading experience might be different than yours, but when I was a kid after high school, I went to college. I went to UCLA, and man, it was the reading load that they give you, like your freshman year. I mean, basically, my dad would drop me off at UCLA on his way to work. I would go to the library and read all day. It was like, and then when I get home, I'd read all night. And I was just reading stuff. And it's not like I wanted to read it, but it's like, okay, I have to pass these classes, I have to read everything. And I was just reading. So I got to the point where I could just power read through stuff and absorb it in a semi-intelligent way. I mean, I understand how to power. I took a speed reading course, but it helps a little when you have like a huge load of books that have to be read by a certain time. So I can get through books that way. Somebody's going to bed and back to gaming. All right. So
take care, Streamfire Nights. Have a good one. Thanks for popping in tonight, and I will chat with you later.
But yeah, it helps to have stuff that you're interested in. I've got a lot of books that I'm interested in, but I remember when my place in Malibu burned down after, I told you about the black sand. I lost all my college books in that fire. And, but it's been a slow trod building up a library again. And I really still don't have space for it. But I've been getting more into reading. If you can do it at a leisurely pace, I find it enjoyable and relaxing to read books, but I don't know if you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of books, and then as I became a teenager, I just I just stopped reading them because most books, I've read some really good books in my time, but I'm just not a reader. I don't like staring at those little tiny letters on page after page. So literally the longest book I think I ever read was the entire complete works of William Shakespeare, and good Lord, trying to trudge through that when you're a teenager, boy, talk about confusing.
Try and trudge through it in college.
Yeah, well, at least in college you have a slightly better understanding of the linguistics of the book. When you're trying to read that and you're in high school or junior high, and you're still learning about all that stuff, and you're like, this makes no sense.
Yeah,
but it's all processed for me. I understood it is just reading the words in the way they are.
Yeah, well, things change over how long? When was Shakespeare alive? The 1600s or
Something like that.
So that was 400 or 500 years ago. Things change.
Yeah, the phonics of words, how they speak. I mean, we still use a lot of the same speaking mannerisms, but it's not nearly as kind of like itchy as bad as it was back in the day.
Well, with Shakespeare, it was the human condition that he nailed, not
It's almost like talking to Yoda in reality.
No, I mean, come on. I mean, Hamlet was a really violent, play. I mean, it's not all like Yoda. I mean, the Hamlet was like the Hamlet was more like start talking to Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the sad part. That stuff was, 200, 400 years ago, and we can actually still accurately compare them to, stuff nowadays, or, at least stuff from, the 70s and 80s.
Well, it's like they just take his character interactions and apply them to new projects.
Yep.
Because the human condition hasn't changed. It's just that they a lot of stuff is based on Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's just how we perceive it. But, yep.
Anyway, so I don't know. I've got a bunch of seeds, cilantro that I'm gonna be planting when I finish the damn garden. I just need enough rocks, basically, and I'm gonna get out the flame torch, the Red Dragon flame torch, and heat up the rocks with fire, and then I'm gonna blast them with a steam cleaner, and then I'm gonna fireweed the ground, and then I'm gonna dump a bunch of topsoil, black gold topsoil in there, and hope everything works out when I plant my seeds. I've got cilantro, spinach, a bunch of red leaf lettuce, like a pound of red leaf lettuce seeds.
If you have to, man, plant in containers. Don't go digging everything out just to put it in the ground. You can grow stuff in containers.
I don't want to grow everything. I'd rather have a nice, pretty rock garden, a rock vegetable garden, rock wall vegetable garden with the lava rocks.
Okay.
And it's just a question of stacking them and doing the work. It'll get done. I just hope it gets done before everything goes to shit, which looks like where we're headed.
Yeah, remember, everything gets worse before it gets better, and eventually, I mean, hopefully by the end of this year, we'll be on the right track to not being constantly contained to our houses.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. They're gonna. If there's big economic problems, they're going to have to. I mean, there's going to be a whole bunch of dominoes that fall over if there's major economic disruptions.
Yeah, as long as we don't get any massive natural disasters that strike us, we should be fairly all right.
Well, that could be a war with China.
They outnumber us, but we'll just. Knowing our government, we'll probably do the same thing to them that we did to Japan back in the 40s.
No, I don't think anybody's going to use nuclear weapons.
We'll see. I mean, I find it funny that our government is the only one that still has all their nuclear programs, but we want everybody else to stop making theirs.
Well, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Again, government control. Our country wants to control everybody else's government.
Well, we're doing it with just our being the world reserve currency right now, but I don't know how much longer that's going to keep on being that way. It's been that way since World War II, but I don't know how much longer the dollar is going to be the world reserve currency.
Yeah, probably not for. Who knows, man? Could be 5 years. Could be 2 years, could be 20 years from now.
It'll be 20 weeks from now.
Could be the end of the year, but well, if it is, then most of us are going to be screwed with all the with all the American currency we have. Getting that swapped over would be a turd, huge turd.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out what's going to happen. So all you can do is just all you can really do is general preparedness, and work on the basics. Go back to the basics.
Prepare for whatever's coming and hope for the best, that it's not going to be something worse than last year.
I mean, I can't complain myself about last year. I got a new house, I got a new car, and my crypto went up dramatically.
Yep.
But
anyway, we're already sitting at 3 hours over here. I was only going to do about 2 hour live stream, but this was actually quite an entertaining live. So, hate to cut you off, HVS, but I'm actually going to call it because it's 12:20 here, and unfortunately, I still have to work in the morning.
oh, I'm glad you have a job.
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. I work in the food industry, so I happen to be one of the few that actually stays open because I work in a pizza restaurant. I'm the manager there, and so we have deliveries and takeout. We can't do dine-in, but we still have delivery and takeout. So we're actually still open, and luckily we're all employed still.
I wish I was still allowed to eat pizza.
Acid issues.
Cardiologist cut me off of that. One of the things I can't eat anymore.
You can probably eat it in moderate amounts. Just don't eat an entire pie by yourself.
Dude, what's fun in ordering a pizza and not eating the whole thing? Drinking a 6-pack of
Order
beer.
a small pizza then. Order a small one. At least that way, if you eat the whole thing, it's not a whole like medium or an entire large or an extra large, depending on what you guys have out there.
Well, up in Volcano, there's just Frankie's Pizza. There's one place called Frankie's Pizza, and that's it. So
I'm gonna Google that later and see what it is. Actually, I think Johnny has one on his island too.
well, I mean, there's Domino's in Kona or Hilo, but I'm not driving all that way through.
And then, hopefully, I'll see you on the next one, or I'll run into you on Tuesday again.
What's
Over
Tuesday?
on- Yeah, Rain Dances.
I thought that was Monday.
No, he does his on Tuesdays.
Not
It's always
Monday.
Tuesday night.
Well,
Sean does Mondays, and then you've got Canoe Hound, and then right after Canoe Hound, you got Rain Dance, and then nobody goes after that.
I guess I haven't been keeping track of it. Who does what when? I just sometimes I turn on the computer or somebody's on, I'll check it out. It's basically.
Gotcha.
But yes, if I'm around and I see, I'll look.
Yeah, I seem to run into you almost every week on somebody's live stream somewhere.
Well, I guess I miss doing the live streams is what it was, because I used to do the Lock and Load show every Monday before Google ended the Hangouts, and then Gun Channels went away shortly after that. And
yeah, that's YouTube censoring though on the gun channels, because they're a bunch of turds.
Well, Gun Channels didn't go away because of YouTube. Gun Channels went away because the guy who ran it just didn't know how to run a professional organization, and it wasn't run like that. It was just inevitable. I mean, it was what it was. It was like a sign.
Square pizza.
What
Square pizza?
Square pizza?
Yeah, you all have square pizza. I'm looking at Frankie's right now. They sell square pizza.
I've been told it's a good place. I haven't been there because I'm not allowed to eat pizza.
It looks good.
Well, I'm sure it's great, and I can't wait to go buy some. It's just that I don't want to wind up in the emergency room again.
That's what I said. Don't eat an entire pie. You can probably eat a couple of slices, but don't eat an entire pie because that'll get you.
Well, it gets you over time. I remember
Yeah.
before my open heart surgery, the cardiologist said, "Well, when you showed up in the emergency room, what did you have for dinner the night before?" And I said, "Well, I had ice cream sandwich, Doritos, and beer." And he was like, "Ice cream sandwich, Doritos, and beer." He put his hand in his head and shook his head. It's like, technically speaking, that's not food, you know. It's like, really?
Actually, that is, any doctor that says that is full of shit because first off, ice cream is dairy. That's good probiotics right there. And a Dorito is technically a potato.
With so much salt and oil.
So it's the oil and the flavoring, but a Dorito is still a potato. That's good starch for you.
Well, I woke up the next morning and I couldn't breathe, and I had to go to the emergency room. Okay, so
Ooh, yeah. Let's not do that again. But, anyways, I'm gonna head on off, and it was good having you up here, HVS. We will do this again sometime. I just don't know when because I can never plan lives. I just go randomly.
right. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Have a good one. Take care, and hopefully we can get some videos from you on the garden on how that's working out.
I'll keep posting videos. Y'all be cool out there.
You always take care, man. Have a good one.
Night.
Bam.